Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. It is the 40th part for my video series, and for the first time in a little while I actually have my character selection screen up here for you to see. The reason why it's not usually visible, or the reason why I'm not usually inside the game itself when I'm starting, is because usually I don't load anything else into my Switch to play, except for Mario Kart on very rare occasions. But in other words, usually I'm just loading straight back into the screen that you guys see when I'm starting the recording, whereas this time here I had to update my Switch for whatever reason. So usually if I'm ever not just in the game, it's usually because I was either loading some other game or had to update, but usually no, I'm already in the game. As you can see, I am almost huntering 700. I'm a little shocked that even though I was so close, as of the last two recordings actually, I'm still not quite there. I will definitely be huntering 700 at some point during this recording, but I'd say it's about 1 or 2 hunts away. It's not like it's a real big deal, it's, you know, whatever, huntering 700 at this point. It's kind of unbelievable that given how much of this game I've played recently, I still haven't reached hunter rank 999, and the reason why it's kind of strange is because I've always felt that it's so easy to hunter rank up in this game, but no, it does take less time than all the other games, quite frankly, but, well, all the ones that came before this one. I cannot speak to World because I haven't really played enough of that, but, yeah, it's not that incredibly fast. I'm still making my way up the ranks. If I were to really try to grind the ranks, which I've never done because I don't care to do that, I probably would be at hunter rank 999 by now, but I feel like there's a certain degree of expectation that's placed on your shoulders when you are at 999 that I certainly would not, I suppose, be able to follow through with, for the reason that I consider myself to be pretty damn casual. I'm probably one of the few people, well, definitely one of the few people, one of the only people playing at this hunter rank who has never bothered to use aerial, striker, alchemy, or valor. Haven't bothered with any of those. I've done a little bit of adept, and I have for the most part stuck with guild style. The reason being, not to be a broken record about it, well, the reason is because I wanted to continue my 4 Ultimate experience. I had no desire to adapt to some new gimmicks, so I decided if I were given the option to continue playing the way I was comfortable with doing, and in the way that I was used to, I would take that option, and of course that option is guild style, which is a little bit, I consider the term guild style to be a little bit, well, it's a bit misrepresentative of what it actually is. It's not a style at all, it's just playing the game as you normally would. But anyway, hello Gessiger, good to see you. Just getting my chat up, see what you have said. But yeah, I wasn't even going to record Monster Hunter today, and then I thought about it and I was like, no, I need to, because Monster Hunter is ultimately what my channel is growing from, and if I don't upload Monster Hunter stuff frequently enough, it's just not going to do well. So nothing's going to go well for me if I just stop uploading Monster Hunter. I mean, there are always bursts of Monster Hunter content, but you have to understand there are more things that excite me than Monster Hunter, so I'm not only going to be doing Monster Hunter. So it is what it is. But I do think I've got a nice community of people who are interested in watching whatever I upload, so I always do appreciate you guys for tuning in when I am recording stuff other than Monster Hunter. But indeed, the majority of people are focused on my Monster Hunter stuff, so, which is perfectly fine. It just means that I have to step up to the plate and upload things for those viewers that indeed only have an interest in my Monster Hunter stuff. But, okay. That's a good joke there, Gessiger, but, well, I suppose you're not always super late to the stream. I think you have arrived early before. But, yes, you are the first and currently only viewer, at least the only one talking. So, there you go. This set here, I'm not going to go into details except to say that shield heavy bowgun in this game is miserable, so while you may be getting all excited thinking, oh my god, Doomlink is going to go shield heavy bowgun in this recording, no. The reason why I have this equipped is because I was hunting with my friend a few days ago. He was doing a high rank Silver Rathalos. High rank I can put up with shield heavy bowgun, because ultimately the point is the shield blocks less of a percentage of the damage that you would take if you were to take the hit head on. And hi spaceman. And I can take that percentage when it's at high rank because that's a percentage of high rank damage, but a percentage of G rank damage, especially once you get into the hyper levels, it's terrible. Yeah, much lower percentage, but that is to say it blocks less. But yeah, that's the way it works, unfortunately. I understand why they did that, but what really pisses me off is that Capcom makes very... I really should be searching for hums while I'm going on rants, because you can... I know you guys can sense, you know me, or if you don't know me, then you will know me soon in this regard, but you can generally tell when a rant is building. But Capcom has a tendency to make very weak attempts at balancing. Little things like not allowing you to block as much damage with a heavy bowgun shield. Well, guess what? There's not much point bothering with shit like that when you completely throw the balancing of heavy bowgun out the window with Valor, okay? So, very cute of you to nerf the effectiveness of the bowgun shield, the heavy bowgun shield, only to completely break the game with a specific style in conjunction with that very same weapon type. I mean, it really does boggle the mind that Capcom can be so utterly useless when it comes to balancing a Monster Hunter game. The reason why it pisses me off is that I don't want to have something that I enjoy using in the earlier games suffer in the interest of balancing when you can't fucking balance the game in other regards. In fact, you completely ruin things by making other things way too strong, so I'd rather you just left it all alone, and maybe just didn't even, you know, it's not that it was imbalanced before. HBG Charm Farm. Let's see if I'm let into this room. Very occasionally they go, use Valor, Lord Zor. I'm like, no. I understand why it would make sense to use Valor, but whatever. I'm going to... Oh, I'm sorry. Well, actually, I shouldn't apologize. It wasn't that far from the microphone. But, or rather, the opposite. It was fairly far from the microphone. It wasn't that close to the microphone, but... I'm always concerned about these things. Okay, take it easy. I'm changing the gun. You know these people get uppity if they think for a moment that you're going to join the quest with something that's not absolutely perfect. I mean, this set that I have here, really, really good. You couldn't really get a better guild, key phrase guild, heavy bowgun setup for this quest than this. I'm either going to get kicked, or lull 411 is going to have a bit of a whinge. It would be the difference of about 5 seconds in the hunt, really, if I were to use Valor, but apparently that's enough. Actually, you know what, let's go, because these guys, fucking impatient, I can tell you now. Making sure I've got my Pierce, making sure I've got my Firecaster, let's go. Because if I keep them waiting any longer, they're going to get very upset. I didn't get a chance to pour my beverage, but hey, in the interest of not pissing off my dear fellow heavy bowgunners, who really I wouldn't refer to as heavy bowgunners, more like gimmick people. People who jump on the gimmick wagon, as opposed to the bandwagon, I guess. Yeah, in the interest of not pissing them off, I wanted to get into the quest as soon as possible. I've talked about this before. I don't consider any person who plays this game and played the older games and finds themselves using the heavy bowgun for the first time in this game when they didn't use it in the other games, and simultaneously are using Valor. I don't consider those people to be bowgunners, and that's not me being elitist, it's just the reality. The bowgun experience is not Valor, sorry. This is just not how it is. I really should have been going straight into crouch fire. That was a little foolish of me. Alright. So, need to get on target here. I'm going Pierce level 2 for the reason that that is what I crouch fire. But it's not it's not like that much less damage than, say, Pierce level 3, and again, very good set that I have here. They open with slicing. The damage of slicing as compared to Pierce, I can't really evaluate. I don't know how much more or how much less damage it would do. I would imagine that Pierce level 3 would do more damage than... Oh, but they're not using a Pierce level 3, that's the point. They would be using Pierce level 2 as well. Crouch firing Pierce level 3 isn't really a thing in this game. It is, but it's not as practical as crouch firing Pierce level 2. It's not just for me. It's also for these guys using Orcus Quarkus, because Orcus Quarkus, I don't even think shoots Pierce level 3, much less crouch fires it, so... yeah. I would say that if it were a comparison between slicing and Pierce 2, maybe it is about the same. They're both fairly effective. Oh, I barely have any of these. What are these? Brack Lash? I'll take it. And we'll sell you. I'm not really interested in the talismans, honestly. I've pretty much got all the talismans that I want in the game. There are very, very rare ones that I might be able to get some use out of, but for the most part, I've made all of the... I mean, that's a good talisman, isn't it? But I don't really want it. I'm not even going to use that. Why the fuck? What am I going to do with a recoil mounting fucking talisman? You've got to be kidding me. And mounting plus 8 3-slot, I've got something better than that for mounting exclusively. So, yeah, nothing of real interest to me there. But the point is, what I was trying to say was that I've basically made all the armor sets that I want to make. And if there's one or two outside of that, then I guess I can maybe eventually get a talisman for it. I don't know, I don't really care. But, yeah. One thing you can do, I mentioned this probably the last time I was doing this quest on camera, what you can actually do is get the Farcaster out of the box in the quest. There's actually one provided to you. It saves you from getting the Farcaster out of the box between quests. You can actually do it in the quest, and I'm probably going to do it this time. I believe 2 or 3, it may even be 3, are in the box. Here I am trying to pour a beverage super fast. Whoa! I usually pour about 2.5 shots. That was looking more like, I don't know, not that. More like 2, I don't know. Looks like we've got time to drink. Okay. So I do like to take an opportunity to do this quest whenever I can, just because I don't mind the talismans and I don't mind the experience of doing this. I think it's a little fun to lock down a monster from time to time. It's something that I don't really do that much anymore. In the past I would do that a lot, and by in the past I more mean in Monster Hunter Tri. That was when I did it the most. So this time I'm not going to be loading my shots, that's just, you know, habitual. Going forward to get better critical distance. Although I believe Shot Booster makes that sort of thing less important, I believe. Well, my understanding of Shot Booster is that its intended effect in conjunction with Pierce is that the entire travelling of the Pierce shot through the monster will not decrease in effectiveness on account of critical distance. So basically, a shot's damage as it passes through can indeed lose effectiveness for that reason. And that's one of the good things about Pierce level 1. Pierce level 1 is good for consistent critical distance. Now, I don't know if that still makes sense today. I just know that traditionally in Monster Hunter, going back to 3rd generation, that was the way Pierce 1 worked. There were certain people who touted Pierce 1 as the best Pierce shot type due to its consistency, and because it's good on a consistent basis in terms of critical distance, what that in turn means is that you need to be really good with your positioning in order to get the full damage of it. At that point, like, it's sort of like comparing normal level 2 and normal level 3. If you're really good at normal level 3, like really good, and really understand how it works, and are consistent with it, you can actually do more damage with normal level 3 than you can with normal level 2, just hit 700. Of course, for those who are not aware, normal level 3 has the ricochet shot. Now, the ricochet shot is very damaging if it actually makes contact with the monster, but that's the key. You need to shoot it such that the ricochet consistently hits the monster. if you're never getting the ricochet, okay, I can actually eat because Samehada is taking a little bit of time. I will eat for attack up lunge, let's see if I can get... I could have gone for luck, actually. What is Samehada doing? You're so fucking fast with your fucking item sets. Ugh. Sorry, I shouldn't have eaten. Don't chastise me too hard. I'm definitely I'm far from a credit to the team at this point. Forcing them to wait an extra 10 seconds. Hey, Chubby. But yeah, that is that's the comparable scenario. Basically, you've got normal level 2 and normal level 3. Normal level 2 is more consistent. Well, no, actually. It's what I mean to say. This is a little confusing. The consistency of normal level 2 and normal level 3 versus Pierce level 1 and the other shot types isn't the same. It's not the same sort of consistency. Basically, it's harder to get the shot off properly with... well, no, it is the same. Sorry, I've gone and confused myself. Basically, it's harder to be consistent with normal level 1 and normal level 3. Sorry, Pierce level 1, normal level 3. I'm confusing myself, I'm sorry. Shut up, Doomlink. Keep your mouth shut. But I think you know what I was trying to get across anyway. What the fuck is going on? I wasn't even in the room. You can't blame me for fucking it up. What happened? Well, as long as we're all in position, we can... Oh, might be a little hard to make this work. I love how the guy's immediately going for the shots. We don't even have one of them in the room. One of them's out. This is unbelievable. This is what happens when people are so used to just spraying and not really applying much strategy to anything. They don't consider, well, one of the 3 damage dealers is not even in the room. Let's allow the sleep to prolong a little further, and then wait for him to come in. We're not going to get that capture for the reason that we were missing one of our people, but we seemed to manage to get the one in the pitfall trap, which was good. That actually worked out fairly well, that's good to see. But yeah, all I was meaning to say back there was that at least in the past, Pierce level 1 was pretty good if you were skilled enough to deal the damage at a consistent critical distance. And if you were also skilled enough to consistently get the ricochet off normal level 3, you could do more damage with normal level 3 versus normal level 2. But it's more fun to use normal level 2, because the thing is with normal level 2, even though it's more consistent in the sense that you have purely localized damage with no need to ricochet, or rather to get the ricochet hit off accurately, you do need a lot of accuracy with normal level 2 in order to deal good damage with it. It's one of the reasons why you do not see many people using normal sets. It's really interesting because normal, contrary to popular belief, is really damaging. The problem with it is that you need to consistently hit the weak point. The whole idea of it is indeed that it's purely localized damage. So if you're shooting a weak point, you're dealing that really good localized damage, but as soon as you're shooting something that's not a weak point, that's when your damage starts to decline with normal level 2. And again, you need to have good critical distance as well. So the point is that normal is the skilled gun and shot type, whereas Pierce is the... It does require a certain... Oh my god, what's going on with you? I haven't seen that before. Where the gun... He's not in good form today. I haven't seen that in a while. Where the gunner just actually fucking jumps straight off without shooting people. Yeah. You know, the melee charm runs I have not seen, well, I hadn't seen them until fairly recently. I don't know what happened. Something must have clicked and the community was like, oh, there's this quest that gives you lots of charms. I didn't realize. Maybe someone made a Reddit post. I don't know. But the point is that, let me get into position, you stupid slicing dickhead. Not that it matters to him. So hopefully we can get this done soon, because I'm actually crouching in the hot area. But, all well and good for Vibe to be, stop. Just too distracted by Vibe and what he's doing. So, again, not much strategy being employed by Vibe at the moment. Again, not a gunner by nature, clearly. More of a mindless A-spammer than a gunner. We almost fucked that up, and that was really Vibe's fault. If you could see, he was not getting piercings down the body. He was shooting from the side of the monster, rather than from the front or back. You can go from the back, that's fine. But if you're not at the rear or at the front, you're not getting your full piercing damage. I don't know what percentage of damage he's getting, or rather, how much of his pierce he's achieving, but it's definitely something like 70%, as opposed to 100% or 90%. And that obviously equates to damage. Now, one thing to mention when it comes to pierce is that your damage with pierce is more influenced by how much of the monster you're piercing through than what kind of weak points you're piercing through. I always find people, it's alright these days, it's a little different these days to use weakness exploit with pierce because it has a different use. Traditionally, weakness exploit, how it worked, was it would give you an increase of damage from hitting the weak point. But, well, maybe it was my understanding of it that was warped. Maybe, yeah, I guess all the shots would be affected. Like, all the piercings would be affected. I assumed only the parts piercing through the weak point would get increased damage, but I guess the whole shot would get increased damage. But either way, people didn't seem to realize that hitting the weak point with piercing was only really worthwhile if it was a large weak point. To give you an example, you have the hump of a Duramboros. That is a really large piercing weak point, in the sense that you can get pretty much all of your pierce through the entirety of the weak point. At that point, it's actually pretty worthwhile to aim for the weak point. Yeah, I would definitely recommend getting into gunning. I certainly wouldn't recommend doing it through styles, not just because I personally don't like styles, but also because it's only going to be for this game. It's been made very clear that styles were very much a gimmick, exclusive to this game. Well, exclusive to this game and the higher rank version, Monster Hunter Generations. And what that means is that you don't want to get used to, you don't want to learn the gun in the wrong way. All these fucking people using Valor right now with their heavy bow guns, who knows if they're going to be comfortable using it in Rise? I've got no idea. Maybe they would be. I'm not sure. What's going on with that guy and his sleep shots? I don't know what was happening there. I'm a bit too close. That's alright. Probably still not too bad. Hey Ron Money, it's a bit late for you. I'm glad that you made it. I'll do a few more of these. Usually these sessions don't last for more than 10 rounds. 10 rounds probably equates to 30 minutes. But, basically, I won't be doing as many as 10, I don't think. But there is a temptation to continue until the status gunner leaves, or until there's a sudden exodus from the room. I would definitely recommend light bowgun instead of going straight into heavy bowgun, for the reason that I wouldn't recommend a person just starting the game with a Blade Master weapon. I wouldn't recommend that they would go in with a greatsword as opposed to a longsword. Really, the difference between, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar in the sense that, well, the phrase that I'm about to throw out there, longsword and greatsword are similar to light bowgun and heavy bowgun. Again, not entirely the case, but it sort of gets across what I'm trying to say. You've got a lot more... Okay, heavy bowgun, you're usually looking at higher recoil. Heavy bowgun, obviously, less mobility, so therefore you're attacking slower, and you move less quickly, but you're doing more damage. Same idea with the greatsword, and then obviously the longsword and the light bowgun, you can attack fairly fast, and you're able to move fairly easily. So yeah, because you're practically a beginner in the gunning world, I would recommend that you learn how to gun. I would recommend that you learn the fundamentals of gunning through light bowgun, because basically the big thing about heavy bowgun or light bowgun is positioning. That's the big learning curve initially for people. The positioning when fighting a monster is different at range as compared to getting in close to a monster. It is easier in some ways and harder in others, and it's very monster dependent. Certain monsters are actually designed to really fuck with people who fight at range. I think I forgot my Farcaster. I totally forgot my Farcaster, unless I did remember it. Here's hoping I didn't forget it. That would be a real shame. I just hate being pressured into joining the quest as soon as possible, because then that leads me to forget my Farcaster and such. I knew I fucking forgot it. That's alright. I'm actually in a good spot. I should be able to... No, we want to go this way. I'll just try to get myself... I'm not going to get the attack up. That's alright. As long as... Just... You're so stupid. Imagine being that ignorant. Imagine being so fucking stupid that you're going to ping as if I don't know what the protocol is. We've done it for what? It's been like 5, 6 rounds. I know the protocol, idiot. The point is that I forgot my Farcaster. It happens. Look at this guy. I can drop on the fucking... You think I'm gonna go before... You're so stupid. I'm just gonna abandon. You're a fucking moron. You're gonna ping me? Oh, come over here, get your attack up. It's gonna be the difference. I mean, it wouldn't even be that much of a difference. Get a grip. Stupid bastard. What I was going to do was wait for him to go in there, and then I would drop on the other side, shoot him from reverse, from the rear of the monster. Without my attack up, oh god forbid, I missed out on my whatever it would be. 5 true raw, 3 true raw even. Moronic bastard. Okay. Going to change rooms anyway. So silly. The reason why I didn't try to meet up with them where they were was because I didn't want to fuck them up, okay? Basically how it works is, if you time it properly, the best way to time it, in other words, is to get Brachydios further away from the entrance that they walk into. Timing-wise, you don't want them to be waiting for me to get there, that's the point. Because if they wait for me to get there, the timing will be off, and Brachydios will be in the door. Remember, all we had, for an example, we had Brachydios in the door that round where he fucked his shot up, and he had to shoot us when we landed. That's all it takes. So basically, what I was hoping, and I was hoping that that guy would have engaged his brain, was I didn't want to fuck up their timing. So he's literally there, pinging me, as if I don't know. He's standing up there, pinging. Here's your Farcaster, come over here. Like, yeah, I think I know that part of the fucking idea. I think I know that we need to do that. My meaning is I know that part of the protocol. If it were the first hunt, it would be a different matter. But obviously... This is the level of stupidity, you know. No common sense, these people. No common sense. Anyway. I wonder what we should do. We're not doing any deviants. You've probably noticed that I never do deviants. There's a reason why. It's because oftentimes you get someone posting the high rank and it's no fun. Deviant turns. Gross. Again, I don't know what possesses a person to make an actual room for their little Twitch account. What is that? It's a little different if you've actually got a following of people who are going to fill that room immediately. But if you've got no one from your stream to come and join, it's a bit weird to me. I mean, maybe it's just a different sort of thing. Anyway. I don't know, little things like what just happened there really piss me off, because it's a shocking display of lack of common sense. That's what it comes down to, and it really pisses me off, just generally. I guess we'll join the turns room. seems that the room closed. Turns with a happy face. I don't know what the apostrophe's for. But anyway. Maybe I don't understand emote language. Anyway, we had a good run with the charm farm room regardless. I mean, if you check, well, if you do that sort of charm farming, you will always find that eventually one guy is going to forget his Farcaster. It just happens. And you don't stand up there pinging like a clown, thinking it's going to do anything. Come here. Well, yeah, Generations Ultimate is full of ignorant people, but having said that, it's nothing new in the Mod Center community. It's one of the reasons why I don't really consider myself to be part of the community, because there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers in it. A lot of dumb motherfuckers, and please don't think that that's me putting myself on a pedestal. It's not about that. I'm not claiming to be particularly intelligent. I'm claiming these other people to be particularly fucking stupid. Different sort of thing. Anyway. Castle on the Run. Well, may as well. I don't always do this. I haven't done it so frequently on camera that I would avoid doing Uppercast, so I may as well. Not a huge fan of the fight, but let's just do it. I might go Longsword for a change. Don't do it recently. I mean, I've done a lot of Longsword on this character, but yeah. What should we... It's Thunder, isn't it, the weakness? I don't really want to use the... See this thing here? I hate this design. It's so ugly to me. But it is functionally one of the best... I mean, the Zenoga weapons are some of the best Thunder weapons in the game, so... I mean, look at that. Look at the damage. It's 355 true raw with 36 element. Like, that's absolutely solid. And then look at the sharpness. It's a really good weapon. But it looks like dick. I don't know what to say to you other than that, so I'm not in the mood. I'm probably going to go Greatsword. Let's go with the Kezu Greatsword. I use the Laggy Greatsword for non-sharpness plus 2. And then, for sharpness plus 2 I use the Laggy, and then for non-sharpness plus 2. And the skill that's swapped is... Oh, I thought I was sitting on you. But yeah, basically the difference between the two Greatsword sets that I have is that one had... They're both the same, except one has sharpness plus 2. And the other, instead of sharpness plus 2, has critical draw. The one with sharpness plus 2 looks a little nicer than this set, but it's about how it functions, not how it looks, in terms of skills. There is a weird thing, and I noticed this back in the 4 Ultimate days. In 4 Ultimate, I noticed that, particularly in the endgame, it was more important that your skills looked good, as opposed to how they functioned. Like, you having a lot of skills, in other words. Like, I could have less skills, but they did more in the quest than someone else, and they would automatically assume that I had a less functional set, because they didn't really think about how the skills worked, that sort of thing. For example, there was a typical set that you would get in 4 Ultimate for Pierce. It was the Gravios Giga Cannon, Crouch Fire. Now what I used was, I had Recoil down with Attack Up XL, Pierce up Evade Extender. I basically had a Mobility Heavy Bowgun set. But the difference between myself and those people was that my skills didn't look quite as nice as compared to their skills, but they were functionally better or just as good about. And presuming that they were not just as good, they would have only been slightly worse, and let me tell you why. All of those people, this is going to be inflated raw values, but you'll be able to get an idea for the difference anyway. If you know inflated values from, say, Rod, for example. They were doing, on average, about 560 inflated raw with Heavy Bowgun. I was doing in excess of 700. And I swear to God, I would be kicked from rooms purely on the basis of me not having the standard Pierce Heavy Bowgun set in 4 Ultimate. Usually it were the people doing Pierce runs for level 140 Devil Joe. Those were the real snobs. They were quite impressively snobbish, those people. And yes, they were going crouch fire and I wasn't, but I was shooting with basically no recoil. Pierce level 3. So yeah, and my reload was not very slow at all, so silly thing. You've watched me triple card before. I meant pedestal in terms of intelligence, not in terms of playing the game well. There are two very different things, game sense and common sense. Many things in Monster Hunter and in other games as well require that you have good, or at least semi-decent common sense in order to do well. I probably could have stayed there and attacked for a little longer, but the point is that when you're playing with people online, you notice all the time people doing dumb shit, and it's not... Some of that stuff doesn't come down to bad game sense. It comes down to bad common sense. Let me give you an example. The fact that whenever you go into a quest that has max potions in the box, and everyone starts at the camp, it's a rush to see who gets the max potions. That's not how that works. The reason why there are max potions in the box is so that you can use your own max potions in the hunt to regain health. And then when you die, you use the max potion in the box. Now that's not game sense, that's common sense, okay? That's the sort of thing that you pick up just by being alive. So, I don't know what to say other than that. Speaking of game sense, I'm struggling. My day is going fairly well. Best hour. Yeah, sure, I'll give you some ideas if I can, Chubby. You've got a few things you can do with bow guns. You can either go with raw damage or elemental. That's something you don't find so often with bow guns these days, elemental. But I'm an elemental guy. I love using element. So hopefully you get some inspiration out of my elemental set. Does elemental light bow gunning really well and truly stack up? Or rather, how does it stack up to raw? It's actually not too bad, but it is monster dependent. It's most effective, obviously, against monsters that are very elementally vulnerable. An example would be Savage Devil Joe and using a Thunder set. You can really tell, if you've got a good Thunder set going up against a Savage, he's going to get shat on. If you've got a team of 4, I would say if you had a team of 4 Thunder Elemental Gunners, he would be down for the count in 3 minutes, easily. So, and that's just normally. If you were really min-max, you could probably sub 3 or even sub 2, but missed my chance to stay up there, I guess. All my videos have turned you into an elemental snob. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Of course, as you know, I always want elements for every single weapon type. All elements for every weapon type. And the reason why is because that's... I think the reason why I do that is not just because I love elemental, it's because I know the Monster Hunter endgame. And the Monster Hunter endgame is all about keeping it fun, keeping it interesting, keeping it enjoyable, and you find joy in the endgame through the abundance of choice when taking on a monster. It's no fun to play in the endgame when you've put however many hundreds of hours in, and all you've got to show for it are like 4 different, raw weapons. How boring is that? You need to have all these choices to keep yourself entertained. I found that out in Try, because that was the first game where I really got to endgame Monster Hunter. And, yeah, from there I knew what I wanted, and it really is the best way to enjoy the game. I mean, some people don't need it. I'm not saying everyone has to play like I do, but that's how you get the most fun. For some people it might be too much effort, I'm not sure. Maybe they don't enjoy the effort that they have to go to in order to acquire all those different sets, all of those different weapons, but to me, why else would you be playing the fucking game? What else are you doing? You're at Hunter rank 400 or something and you've got nothing to show for it, why? What were you doing? It's weird. But again, that's just me not understanding how some people like to play, and that doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means that I have a very, very different way in which well, a very different set of requirements, I guess, to have fun. Whoa, that was an attempt. I think I managed to do a regular roll through that. I was intending to do a dive, but whatever. Yeah, status is fun too. I don't mind status. I find status to be more fun than raw. From most boring to least boring, it would go, for me, physical status element. Why can't I skip this? I was pressing B, I swear to God. Don't know what you want from me. Anyway, see if we can get iridescent carapace. You never know, I might want it. Or need it, rather. See what happens. Just got one. Awesome. Just from a regular carve too. Didn't even need to break the abdomen for that. Good to see. It's like all the shinies have disappeared. That's a shame. I guess that's why they were all collecting them. Oh well. But yeah, this is pretty much the rare item. Technically, well, I don't know what's harder to get. Iridescent carapace or the... I think it's called the gem. I can't even remember what the rare item's called, but basically the thing with the mantle icon. I don't know which one's harder to get, but I've had more difficulties getting iridescent carapace personally, as compared to the gem thing. But yeah, I love status. I have been a bit lazy with status with the recent games, that is, for Ultimate, Generations Ultimate, World. May as well mention that fucking game. Didn't get any iridescent carapace from the abdomen break, which is the requirement to get it in the rewards, by the way. It may be a quest reward for... Is there an event, Atulkar? I'm guessing there would be. If there is, then it's probably possible to get it as a quest reward from that quest, but I don't believe it is a quest reward in the, like the urgent quest that people do. And I say that because, you know, for example, the event, traditionally you would only be able to get a Sky Piercer if you broke both horns on an Elatrion, that was it. However, it is technically possible in the older games to do the event, Elatrion, and get a Sky Piercer without breaking the horns at all, because it is a very low chance quest reward, I believe. That's my memory of it. So I thought they might do a similar thing with Atulkar, and I'm sure there are other examples of similar things with quest rewards. I'll show you those light bowgun sets of mine. I don't know whose quest that was. I think that was LL's quest. I don't know if that's a reference to Code Geass or what. Could be. You never know. Erutsu. But, what we're gonna do is... So these are my elemental sets here. You can see that each of them has a theme of not just elemental attack up, but also additional attack for the respective elements. So, for example, my fire set here has fire attack +2 and element attack up. To continue with the theme, basically with the intention of getting maximum damage out of element, I have affinity that is capitalized on through elemental crit. You can see with this particular set I've got repeat offender and critical light +2. Which I believe would give me within the region of 50 affinity. That's assuming that repeat offender gives 30% affinity, as I remember. I could be wrong about that. Might even be more than 30%, but I have 30% in my head. So you can see that all these sets, as I go through them, are relatively the same. The way in which they differ honestly depends on what I could manage with the mixed sets, in conjunction with the specific elemental attack that I wanted. So this is water, this is ice, this is thunder. I have reload speed +1 on this particular set for the reason that Daora's Yellow Jacket, the gun, which is definitely the best elemental ice light bow gun in the game, it has slow reload, so I wanted to get that reload speed +1 in there. It was definitely possible that I wouldn't be able to do it, but I was able to do it, so I did it. And it's pretty functional. This is really the most damaging set that I have. I have Critical Eye +3 and Resentment, and I didn't really want to equip that. I don't even know what we're hunting. Fuck, what's that? What have you fucking posted? Is that a Cantor? If it's a Cantor, I'm out of here. And I'll tell you right here, right now, if it's Atalcar, I'm certainly out of here. Oh, it's a Latrion, how about that? Well, sorry for making you guys wait, but isn't that funny that just as I was mentioning a Latrion, we're going to do an Elatrion? Not what I like to use. What would I like to use? I wouldn't like to fight this monster, to be completely honest with you. I guess I'll go Raw. What's a fun Raw set? I don't really want to go Greatsword on an Elatrion. You know what, we'll go... Let's go Heavy Normal. Weird idea, but let's do it. There is an event, Atalcar. I didn't get to show you my Raw light bowgun sets, but I'll show you them later. After this quest. I don't want to leave these guys waiting for ages. So we'll go... Well, if I can get Moxie, that'd be great, yeah. Uh-oh, Game Changer. We're gonna get invaded by Devil Joe. I only got Moxie, that's fine. That works out well. Okay, so, well, it doesn't necessarily work out well. It's not going to make a difference whether I have Game Changer or not. So I will get my combination materials for... Well, I don't think I need any combo books for this, do I? I believe normal level 2 will be 100% either way. Let's find out. 95%, I can spare. I know you're walking in a circle, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. If you could fucking forgive me, that would be phenomenal. Okay. 1 book of combos, that gives us maximum combinations. Well, technically not maximum combinations, but still pretty close to it. Take it easy, you fucking doofus. We can use our internal level 2 ammunition, but basically elemental light bow gunning is better in Generations and Generations Ultimate than it had been in any game prior, and the reason why is because of internal ammunition, and just the different levels to elemental shots as well. Before this game, and Generations, elemental shots were limited to Thunder S, Flame S, and stuff like that. That was it. You didn't have Flame level 2, you didn't have Pierce Flame level 1, Pierce Flame level 2. It's just really interesting, and also you have internal ammo, so the point is that you've got many more options in terms of what your best gun is going to be, because not only do you have what it can rapid fire, which is usually what would determine, as a light bow gun, what your best elemental light bow gun is going to be for the respective element. You've also, and I guess, you know, in conjunction with that, things like the damage, the reload speed, the recoil. Not so much the recoil, I guess. But the reason why is because elemental shots do not have recoil. Normal and elemental do not carry recoil, but anyway. Yeah, things like reload speed, for example. Not only that, but you also have the different internal ammo that it possesses. And sometimes you can get other good internal ammo outside of elemental, so really it's very, very fun. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Now, of course, I'm doing normal here, so I really should refresh myself on the shot zones, to be completely honest with you. Oh, I hate it when he does that angle. I enjoy bow, but it's not really my fun. Not really my thing in certain hunts. In certain hunts. I can gun in pretty much any hunt. Bow, not so much. Not that I can't bow, but I don't get as much fun out of bow in certain hunts. Hey, Sleazy Weasel. Well, it's interesting that you struggle to position yourself with light bowgun and not heavy bowgun. Beta Star. I'll just call you Asta. How about that? Yeah, it's interesting that you struggle to position, because basically you have more freedom to position yourself accurately with light bowgun for the reason that you aren't forced to roll to get most of your mobility. As you can see, I'm trying to shoot the head fairly consistently here. That's the nature of light, or rather, normal bowgunning, which is why you don't see as many people do it, because it's easier to mindlessly shoot and get your damage off through piercing, which I usually do with this monster, but because I was talking about normal earlier on in the recording, I thought I would, I don't know, use it, just for the sake of it. And even if I do miss the weak point, it's alright, I'm still doing a decent damage. It's a little dangerous to do this, but I'll do it anyway. I'm a little worried about getting icicles on me. If you can identify who's being targeted specifically by the icicles, you can automatically work out where, based on that, Elatrion's going to fall. I'm well out of critical distance here, but that's why I missed the head, because I'm too far away. Well, you could see that I had identified that geyser had appeared, but I couldn't roll in time. LL is having some problems. Here we go, shot on the head. Get up there, arsehole. Fuck. I've missed my opportunity, pretty much. And I have to shoot out of critical distance. That's a little frustrating. Now, of course, I could be shooting for the head because I wanted to break the horns, but I'm not really interested. I don't need anything from Elatrion at the moment, so... or probably ever. I hate that fucking attack. That attack right there has to be my least favourite attack of his as a ranged player. I usually don't go Blade Master with Elatrion. Haven't done it since Try. At least not consistently since Try. In Try, it was very popular to do the 2 hammer, 2 paralysis. And, you know, that was usually for me either the Goebel Longsword or the Devil Joe Hammer. Those were my 2 main options. Devil Joe Hammer just had the best damage. It was a dragon weapon, which wasn't good when, like, dragon element doesn't do much damage to Elatrion when on land. However, the Devil Joe weapons were not very high on the elemental scale. They were much higher on the raw damage scale, and as well as that, you had purple sharpness, so the damage was just off the charts in that game. It was insane. Incredibly imbalanced. You're still going. You wanna fucking stop? Seriously. So turn around, please, shoot your face, or miss your face. You can see I'm a little bit out of practice with normal gunning at this point, but I'm doing what I can. Alright, we've got a mount off. This will be a good opportunity. Actually, what I'll do is I'll get gunpowder infusion up. There we go. It's not for ultimate, I can shoot during a mount. The reason why I don't shoot during mounts is because I want to actually do damage with my shots, because shots are limited. You can attack as much as you want with a Blade Master weapon, but theoretically, you do have limited ammunition, so I would like to save it for actual damage. Here we go, getting beautiful shots off on the head here, at critical distance. Of course, critical distance for normal is much shorter as compared to... we've already... I'm not going to take full responsibility for that. That's double horn break in about 7 minutes of the hunt. But I definitely contributed. That's not a bad position for that flash bomb. Didn't quite get it though, because it's hard to get the right position. I think I was saying something before, but I can't remember what it was now. I think it was even important, but too bad. Too bad. But yeah, I really should have checked for the other shot zones of... oh, that's right, I was talking about 2 hammer, 2 power. So yeah, you're in Try, which was the game Elatrion first appeared in. What a good hunt. Nice work, guys. That was really impressive. It's very easy to have this hunt drag to about the 10-minute mark, but we did very nicely there. I'm quite happy with this team. No deaths either. Very smooth. Very nicely done. I could have been a little more accurate on that head, and I could have been a little better with my critical distancing, but broke both horns, and that's what's important. Alrighty. But yeah, you had 2 Hammer, 2 Para, and Alatreon Clust, and again, Alatreon first appeared in Tri. He was the final boss of the online content, and of course because Tri was a mess, not really a mess, but because it was designed very stupidly, the city mode was locked behind online, and you could only fight monsters like Deviljho and Alatreon in the city mode, and so therefore when the servers shut down, there was no Alatreon or Deviljho, or Gen Moran for that matter. So, among other monsters, I think. So, no, it was just those 3, actually, now that I think about it. But the whole of high rank was also locked behind that too, so basically, you can't fight Alatreon. If you were to go into Tri today, you can't fight Alatreon, because there is no online. But anyway, the Clust runs were very fun, and that was your typical... Well, that was your pastime. If you were in the true endgame of Tri, Alatreon Clust runs were your endgame. That was your pastime. There were a lot of things to do. Well, actually, there wasn't that much to do, but if you were going through the Tri endgame, you were very good at creating your own endgame, so... yeah. Alatreon has really good elemental stuff for armor. I find that Alatreon XR is very commonly used in elemental mixed sets. So, with that in mind, yes, definitely there is stuff worthwhile making, especially if you have denounced yourself as being a element whore, such as myself. But, basically, the Alatreon weapons, I'm not as big on in these games as I was in the older games. I don't know. They're probably fine, but I don't like them as much anymore. Mainly because I'd prefer stuff that has decent raw with additional element. The reason why is because I like to treat element as bonus damage as opposed to the main damage. It's different with bow guns, but with a Blade Master weapon, I've sort of changed a little bit since the old days. In the old days I liked to have weapons where most of their damage was elemental, but these days I feel it's more balanced and generally more effective, and I can also still enjoy the element, to focus on good raw damage, and also pretty fair element, with the idea in mind that the element should be bonus damage, because how it works is most of the damage that you... well, what I should say is that you'll always do more damage with physical raw damage than with element. Unless you have a really specific monster, like for example Savage Deviljho and Thunder element. Have these people left? Oh no. Hello Oz Khan. I don't know if it's my quest, but... skip me. And I don't know if LL wants to do anything either. Was he the one who posted the fucking Atulkar at Hunter rank 872? What's wrong with that guy? Why would you want to do Atulkar at that fucking Hunter rank? I certainly don't want to do it at my Hunter rank. Anyway, so here's another elemental set. This one is with the Absolution Bow Gun. The name for the fully upgraded bow gun here has changed a little bit over the years. In Freedom Unite, which was its first appearance, it was called the Absolute Bow. It's a bow gun, not a bow. But it was called the Absolute Bow. And then in its next appearance, in 4 Ultimate, it was the Absolute Bow Gun. And in this game, it's the Absolution Bow Gun. Whatever works. Slow reload, loads 3 of all element, and rapid fires all of them. Well, I shouldn't say all. All minus Dragon, because Dragon isn't the same as the other elements. It operates differently as a shot type. But the way this works is it's not going to be as good if you're focused on a single element. The use case scenario for a set such as this is multi-monster and multi-weakness, in the sense that you have 2 monsters, maybe one's going to be weak to water, one's going to be weak to fire. It's good to have a set like this if you want to go element with a light bowgun, because then you can deal both elemental damage types. So you could always go real hard on one specific element and then choose to go raw damage for the other monster, but if you are in the mood to go element only, this is the kind of set you want. Generally, while I would say the Absolution Bow Gun is pretty good for all elements, like even if you were to use it if this were your exclusive elemental set, like it was for me for my first 300 hunter ranks or so, it's alright, like it's definitely functional, but there is always something a little better if you focus entirely on a specific element for a specific armor set. It is better to use something else. Mainly because this thing has really slow reload, and again, it doesn't load as much of the shot type as, say, something a little more fully dedicated to a specific element. So for example, a shot, or rather a bowgun, that focuses entirely on ice shots is going to load something within the region of 5-6 shots, whereas again, this is only loading 3. This is going to technically load 4 because I have load up, and that's the reason why I have load up, because 3 is pretty bad even with rapid fire. What have you guys posted? I'm sorry, I'm fucking... I didn't even get to show my other light bowgun sets, because I'm taking way too long. A coil to arms, well fuck me. I don't want to... Well, I'll use a... Sorry guys, fucking forgive me for taking so long. I don't even remember what Najarana's weak to, I think it's water. In case it's not, I'm just gonna bring something else. I'll bring hunting horn, sorry. Actually no, I'm not going to because I don't know the elemental weakness. I don't have a raw hunting horn. Shit, hurry up Doomlink. Bring your Toyohisa sword. Just do it. Hurry. But, yeah. I like the Absolution Bow Gun, it's nice. Just fucking join the quest. I've already kept these guys waiting. They're probably the most patient I've seen any group of people in Generations Ultimate so far. Anyway. The perks of being a higher hunter rank, they don't leave without you, or kick you. Where is my... oh, here it is. It was really funny, because it's full, it was dark down there and I couldn't see. I could see my... anyway, I could see other things, but not this one. My other light bow gun sets are normal and pierce. I believe I only have 2 others. I technically have a status one, but it sucks. Well, it's not that it sucks, it's a good status set, but... I don't know. It doesn't work for that Bracky run thing. The reason why is because I, for whatever reason, at Hunter Rank 700, have never come across God's Isle in this fucking game. I have received God's Isle in every other game that it's ever appeared in except for this one. I don't know why. It's fucking annoying. And Demon's Island, for that matter. In fact, I don't even think Demon's Island's in this fucking game. It might be. But I've never seen anyone use it online. And I guess the reason why is because it's not really better than God's Island. Whenever I say Demon's Isle, I always imagine Dave Mustaine going, Devil's Island! Or not exactly my best Dave Mustaine impression, but it's about the best I can do without actually screaming. This is one of those things that you need volume for, amplitude. And if you guys say, wow Doomlink, you sound like a screaming baby. Like a crying baby. Well, guess what? That's what Dave Mustaine sounds like. Ha ha ha. Good joke, Doomlink. Well, nothing too special, chubby. Just bells. Usually bells. Bells scotch. Again, quantity over quality at the moment. However, I do like bells. It's a good whiskey. I wouldn't actually drink something that didn't taste nice, obviously. Ooh, just missing the face here. I mean, this stupid snake can never stay in one place. I'm always struggling to greatsword this guy. I mean, I can always hit him with a greatsword charge. I can never hit him in a specific place, though. It seems to always be a struggle. This is a fairly good hit zone from memory. He's getting locked down. I mean, is this really G-rank? Yeah. You poor motherfucker. You poor bastard. What the fuck is going on with his team? Nice work, guys. Holy shit. Look at this, guys. Hunter rank 9. What a good team. Someone here is doing some serious fucking damage. Someone's got a meta set, and I haven't been paying attention, clearly. I do see a Crimson Fatalis Charge Blade. I do see a Valor Heavy Bow, which might be what's dealing all this damage. I mean, yeah, I'm doing good damage. Shit, I mean, what have I got for my end damage? I've got 382 raw damage with a little bit of purple. So I'm doing very good damage also. But that's pretty crazy. That was a fast hunt. This is not hiring. Really good. Believe you me, I hate saying that. I never say believe you me, but believe me, I like more expensive whiskies. My preference is the heavily peated ones. I suppose the cheapest on that end would be the Ardmore for me. But that's my preference, personally. But at the moment, it's just too expensive. I go through bottles too quickly, you know. So I haven't the cash flow. So I'm going for cheaper liter bottles at the moment. Alrighty. So I'm really happy with that quest. That was impressive. More of that, please. So let's check out this guy's set. What we got? Sacred Bow. That's not him. Sacred Bow is a good set. Well, it's a nice bow. I believe it's... well, it probably has element in this game. Or it might not. Basically, it was an Awaken bow in 4 Ultimate. I use it as my Awaken Lightning normal bow, or rapid bow. It's really cool. This must be the guy, yeah. Yeah, Valor. That's right. True shot up. Surprised that he's not using heavy up or anything like that. But he's doing very good damage, look at that. He must be the one. But then again, we did very well against Elatrion, and this guy wasn't present for that hunt, so it makes me wonder. I've had Ardberg 10. Not familiar with Lager 16, and I think I've heard of Port Charlotte 10, but I haven't had Port Charlotte 10. We don't get as much choice over here as you would in the UK. We still get plenty of imports, but not quite as many as you, obviously, because you're in the heart of whiskey territory. What the hell was even there? Was that Castle on the Run again? Was it Elijah who posted it before? Maybe it was. This bastard, I'm not doing it again. Well. C'est la vie. Motherfuckers. Here's another turns room. Dreamboat. What a name for oneself. In all caps too, just to ensure that I can see it. But yeah, if I've got money, usually I'll go for a Glenmorangie variant or Talisker 10-year-old, you know. That's usually what I'm going with. I like Talisker. But I would take something like Glenmorangie and Talisker, knowing that they're very good, but also knowing that I do ultimately have limited choice. All the other stuff just ends up going for a higher price, you know. I already did one before, Asta. Like, I really don't need to do another one. I was actually quite... what? Mugre Team Sexual? What? Oh great, and one of them is named... we've got Himaru and Urza. Now, I've got no idea if Himaru is from Fairy Tail as well, but I'll tell you what. It's enough to get me running in the opposite direction. What is this name? This person's weapon is... as you can see. Sometimes these rooms glitch out, and I don't think it's a sign of someone modding or anything like that, but see this? It's glitched out. Weapons glitched out. Message 1 is glitched out. I think it's an issue with the search system. Sometimes it'll load rooms strangely. The reason why I say that, I mean, see the hunter name there? It's all these... well, obviously, invisible characters. Alright. I don't know what language that is, so I don't even want to pretend to say it. Bulldrome of the Peaks. Well, the objective is Nasilla, so I really do wonder what the fuck you guys are doing in there. G Slay. Okay. G Slay. I'm not into bourbon, too sweet. I've had a bit of bourbon, I don't mind Jack Daniel's Single Barrel. But outside of that, well, you know, the smoother stuff, more expensive bourbons are probably alright. But generally too sweet, too American. I do like the smokiness, the smoky notes, but the sweetness is a bit much. What are we doing, Colwyn? Oh, Epitaph Infinitum. Again, the name of that weapon fully upgraded has changed over time. It used to be Epitaph Blade, and then it became Epitaph Eternal. Well, having said that, I don't remember the name of it in 2nd and 1st gen. Well, I guess... I don't think it was called Epitaph Eternal in the older games. It might have been, but I know for a fact that in 3 Ultimate, which was the first and only G-Rank 3rd gen game, it was called Epitaph Eternal, after having been called the Epitaph Blade in... Well, I believe that the Epitaph Blade was in... Well, it was called the Epitaph Blade in Trine and Epitaph Eternal, and now it's Epitaph Infinitum, which is fine. But if you're going to be AFK, then that's a real shame, because I was quite willing to help you, although your set is making my eyes water a little bit. No slot usage whatsoever. Gemmed up to Heartbreaker. Oh, hello. Good day. I can tell this guy is an old style hunter. He's an old casual. You can tell he's using full Rathalos, Epitaph Blade. I like this guy. Yes, he could have a better set at Hunter Rank 153. I will not deny it. However, if he's old style, I'd rather play with him. See, look, I didn't even know he was doing guild style, but I knew he was doing guild style. Good man. Good man. I'd rather two-man a monster with an old casual than play with some Valor motherfucker. Going, I can't wait for Rise. I want to use the wire bug. I want to fly around the place. I can't wait. I wish I played Frontier before it closed. What's Monster Hunter Online? Anyway, I probably sound a bit bitter. Let's go Greatsword again. We'll stick with this particular Greatsword set. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you my my other set. I'll just quickly show you. Light Bowgun, I have Rapid Normal, which I rarely use for the reason that Normal is all about accuracy. It's very hard to hit something consistently with a rapid fire shot, obviously. And the whole balance of Rapid surrounds getting all shots off. If you hit 1 out of 3 rapid shots, you're doing less damage than the full, like, if it were non-rapid. If you get 2 off, it's equivalent. If you get 3 off, then you're doing more damage, so basically, not ideal. You're always missing 3 shots with Rapid Normal, so I never use this set. And then we've got Light Pierce, which is this right here. Fairly common to have a Light Pierce set of this kind. This is a little bit different to what you might see around. Definitely full Silverwind is viable here, although if you're using full Silverwind armor, I wouldn't recommend the Silverwind gun, because you're going too hard on Affinity at that point. I feel that Affinity starts to... Once you're hitting around 50%, 60%, take it easy. Give yourself some more raw for your Affinity to work on. Id est get a higher raw gun, such as the Nokako Slight Bow Gun. That's what I used before making this set. This Pierce set here is an amendment to my original, which was full Silverwind with the, well, I may as well show it. Not the actual set itself, but the gun itself. The Blast of the North Star. Not to be confused with Fist of the North Star. And you can see, very good damage. The reload is fast, the recoil is low. And it's got 2 slots. Very good gun. That, as opposed to around 300, like you're getting an additional 40 or so raw with that. And it's better to have an additional 40 raw for your affinity to work off than an additional 30 affinity when you're already at like 50%. That's the point. So, that's my opinion anyway. I could always be wrong, but that's my insight for you. So we are fighting a monster that is weak to fire. We will equip the Wrathlord Sunsword. Oh, Colvin, what's going on? I'm sorry. I've kept you waiting. I'm very sorry. I'm here. Wherever you may be. I think he's changing his set. Yeah. Oh, he's changed to full Salcia. It's not fully upgraded, but the defense is fine, I guess. Yeah, it is a good Pierce set. Functional. The evasion +1 is alright to have. I enjoy it. I generally don't need evasion too, but these days I don't use evasion as much. I'm not much of an invader. Oh, evader, not invader. Not much of an invader either in the Souls games these days. I don't really want to do this with 2 people, but hey, we just got a 3rd, so just as well. I mean, he's not going to be... Oh, he's using full White Fatalis. How about that? Good on you. I have respect for a person who, at hunter rank... What is hunter rank? 40-something? 44! This guy's at hunter rank 44, and he's got the full White Fatalis set. Now that's a stark comparison to those people running around with full Adalkar, isn't it? That guy decided to fight the strongest Elder Dragon in the game to get a good set. I mean, that's what I did. That was... What I did was... I think I was using Rathalos X up until my hunter rank break, and then once I got my hunter rank break, I was scouring the rooms for people who were hosting White Fatalis. Of course, White Fatalis, you have to be hunter rank 100 to post it, but you can still join the room, and people let me in because I had a nice looking set, and I got the full White Fatalis set at about hunter rank 60. And the reason why I was at about that hunter rank was because I probably broke to about 55 or 60. This guy has obviously broken to about 40 and he's already got the fucking set. Good on him. I'm happy to see that. Okay, get a fucking weapon. And it's not good. You know what we're gonna do? This. I'm not going anywhere near this fucking thing. Hi Burpee, good to see you. Lighting's a bit low, but you can still see me alright, so that's good. Thank God for it's not... It hits hard when you spend the whole time, well not the whole time, but at least the start of the room, me joining the room, really expressing my appreciation for this guy. But he made the decision to depart without me, despite the fact that I had clearly changed to a different set. I had in fact joined at the quest board, and he departs without me. As you guys know, I'm usually in a pretty bad mood when I'm recording this, because I'm usually dealing with actual idiots, but today I've been feeling pretty good because I'm not playing with as many idiots, and, you know, I'm sitting here basically praising this guy for being, you know, obviously an older player, and someone who's obviously had experience in the series beyond this game, which I always enjoy to come across. But, What he's actually gone and done is he's demonstrated that he's a complete fucking asshole who has absolutely no regard for me or any regard for common sense. I don't know if he's spiteful of the fact that I was in this room for a little while, showing you guys my light bowgun sets. More specifically, like 3 minutes. Ooh, 3 minutes, sorry. But, behaviour like that is pathetic, and I don't really know what to say other than that guy can go and fuck himself. And it's people like this that make it very, very hard to appreciate anyone in this community. Anyone. Because you never know when your impressions are going to be betrayed, and in fact the guy, instead of being someone you can respect, is, in fact, a complete and utter shithead, okay? So, fuck that guy. Wish I could find out where he lives so I can pay him a visit. Not to physically assault him, but to look at his face, see what kind of incredible stupidity. Like, what does a person's face look like when housed within the mind is such incredible stupidity? And then ask him, what was going on in your head in that moment? Help me to understand. Help me to understand. Because that shit makes no fucking sense to me. It's pathetic. You could do something as simple as even communicate. You could just say my name with a question mark. That's all you need to do. Lord Zor. To indicate that you're asking whether or not I'm coming now. You don't even do that. You just leave without me. Even though I was readied up on the fucking... Not readied up, but I had joined the quest from the quest board. All I was going to do was eat, and then ready up. No interest. And you wonder why I barely associate with this fucking community. You wonder. You fucking wonder. It's either you've got complete fucking idiots, or you've got complete fucking idiots, basically. So, I don't know. You fucking wonder. And I had a rant back in, it was probably October of 2019, about how I watched the fall of the Monster Hunter community. It went downhill from Tri, let me tell you that. I thought it was bad in 3 Ultimate as compared to Tri War. I got a bit of a culture shock when I played 4 Ultimate and thought it was full of actual retard. Like, actual people who would probably be better off with some sort of parental guidance while playing. Just to rein in their shocking stupidity. And then it got worse in this game, and I was left a little shocked. I was left utterly confused by the fact that it could get worse than it was in 4 Ultimate. Which would indicate to me that it's not going to get better anytime soon. And would also indicate to me that it's a bit of a waste of time to even associate with these people, but here I am. Anyway. That's life, isn't it? Fuck all these people. Sephiroth? Has this guy actually unironically named himself Sephiroth? Even assuming that he's got a character from the original generations, that was 2015. Imagine that. Sephiroth. Obviously the joke is, if anyone remembers the time when everyone on the internet used to name themselves Sephiroth, it's kind of funny to see it all these years later. Anyway. It's left me in a bit of a foul mood. More than a bit of a foul mood. What brings a person to do something like that? Have some fucking decency. You guys probably think I'm pretty rude in how I communicate with people here, but you will notice, if you're observant, that I don't do shit like that. I don't just depart without people. I've got enough empathy to realise that how they're going to feel if they're left behind. I'm inclusive. I'm always inclusive. There was that one fucking time when a friend of mine kicked Gaijin Hunter for using a fucking cat, and that was funny. But really, overall, I do make a strong attempt. I make successful attempts to include people. Because it's natural to do so. But apparently it's not natural for some people, and in fact, it probably wouldn't even cross their fucking minds probably wouldn't even cross their minds. And that's what gets me. I go out of my way to play this game today, only to be faced with that kind of pathetic attitude. I'm not too pissed off, Chub. It's just, or Chubby. The reason why it pisses me off is because I've seen the same thing time and time again for so many years now that it's just... It either pisses you off more, or you become desensitized to it. I'm the former, I suppose. Talisman farm? Well, I don't know if he was wanting to do a heavy bow gun run, but I guess that's not going to be happening. That's why I get down about it, because I've seen it so many times across so many games, and it's one of those things that falls under common decency and common sense, and it seems that common sense is far from common in this community. Far from common. Let's do Dread King. What have we got? When I say what have we got, I mean like what level of Dread King. It better not be high rank or I'll be upset. If I see a Dread King level 1... Betrayal of the Impatient. Well, it would have been a different matter if I wasn't even there. If I wasn't even there, I probably would have been like, oh, that's a... I would have been a little pissed off, but I would have thought, okay, that's fair, because I took a long time the last time he posted a quest, so maybe he thought that I was going to take a long time again. But he departed when I had clearly changed my weapon, and also had joined the quest board. At that point, it's like, get a grip. We got a Tropic Hunter. Anyway. I remember something like that happening in World, actually. If you guys recall, in World they brought an update in where you can't hit a person on your team if they're carving. I actually encountered that part of the community. I can't really remember the situation. It was up against a kid and I had done something that pissed the team off. And they all banded together to hit me out of getting my calves. They all sacrificed their calves just so that I couldn't get mine. Or at least one of them sacrificed their calves so that I couldn't get mine. And that was the first time I had ever come across that in any Monster Hunter game. I'd never seen that sort of attitude before. It really shocked me. Because that was a new one for me. It's only ever happened once, and it was in World fighting a kid. This would have been in maybe March of 2018. And it was weird. It's really weird. I'm sorry to hear that happen to you in this game. Usually I get pretty pissed off if I want to kill a monster and someone captures it without even asking, but I'm gonna try for one more. I'm sorry to say, but I'm not doing Dread King G5. Sorry. I suppose I do. Well, I probably attract it to myself because I'm a bit of a moaning bastard, whinging bastard these days with Monster Hunter. With the community. I mean, you know, people can identify issues in the community and not sit here and rant about it all recording. But I am one of those people, probably because I'm overly emotional, but yeah. It's true, you attract it, if you're in that sort of headspace. That's what's happening today. G-Rank Teostra, let's do it! Explosion marked the spot. We'll do a Teostra for old time's sake. I'm good with doing that. Yeah, what ends up upsetting you is not the fact that you've lost your cars, it's the fact that the person's gone out of their way to do it. Just the attitude and the behaviour. That's what pisses you off. It's not like, okay, I can live without getting 3 cars, but yeah. That's not what pisses you off, or leaves you frustrated, or confuses you even. Let's, I don't know if I want a hammer. Let's use a lance for something a little different. Yeah, we'll use this lance. I like this lance. This is the dragon one, isn't it? Yes it is. But I really have to say, and it's not like I'm constantly, when I record this game, it's not like I'm coming in here and tearing everyone a new hole and just getting real angry. It's not that. It's just that I do recognize that I'm moodier when I play this game. And the reason why is because, as Astar says, it builds up over the years. The frustration builds up over the years. I am this way because of all the fucking people I've had to deal with over the years in this community. And it's not healthy. And it's what happens when you play with randoms. Not everyone knows that. Some people always have... Oh. But yeah, some people always have a group of people to play with. I don't. I don't always have a group of people to play with. Well, I never have a group. Sometimes I have one person to play with, here and there. And they don't experience what it's like to play with randoms. It was fine in Try. It was so good in Try, in fact. It was really fun. The community was amazing. And everyone can attest to that, who's played Try online. But after that game, it just... And I would guess that it was a really good community back in Monster Hunter 1 as well. And I wish that I had been playing Monster Hunter earlier, because the server shut down in 2008. Maybe I could have experienced that. I would have loved to have experienced that. But I never did. And I can only speak to Try, community-wise, and it was amazing. But every game after Try, I'll tell you what, it wore me down further and further and further, until I became a very jaded, cynical bastard. Not to the extent where I'm actually going to do things like leave without people on a quest, or kick people for stupid reasons. And if you guys have watched many of my recordings, you know that that's not something that I do. Just because that's not the sort of person that I am. But I am enough of a person, well, I am emotional enough at least to talk a bit of shit here and there. And that ultimately comes down to many years of frustration. That's where it comes from. And again, I sit here really getting excited about a guy who I've identified as probably an older player based on his armor set. Like an older casual. Using guild style, sort of like a comrade of sorts, because I'm one of the few guild style players in this game. And then he goes and slights me. After that. One of the few people that I'm kind of excited to play with. I wanted to just have some fun with him. He's one I'm left without me. So fuck that guy. And fuck this community. Moving on. We're not going to dwell on that point. Just wanted to address it. Because I haven't really addressed it fully before. But I do recognise how I am. Alright, we will be safe to stay... Oh, maybe not. Oh, I flinched him out of it, which is good. But yeah, I don't intend to have this take on a dark note for the rest of the recording. So just wanted to talk about it a little bit. It is a big TH string. Although I don't think it's a gold crown large. I think it... Actually, no, look at the size of his head. Yeah, that is a gold crown right there. I was thinking it would be silver, but no, that is it. Just looking at the size of the head, that is a fucking colossal Teostra. You can see I've got Outdoorsman with this set. The reason why is because it was an easy skill for me to get. Because I do have... Basically, to get these skills, I don't really need a better... Getting a better guard talisman than what I have right now, which is +6 0 slots, is not going to do anything for me. So, I chose a talisman that had a +10 skill, which happened to be Outdoorsman. So, here I am. I really shouldn't be sharpening so soon. If I'm already dropping to blue, I should just keep with blue and then sharpen up from there. I need to be very careful not to be hit in this situation. Lance, I'm not much of a Lance player. I've talked about this before. Lance is not really my style of play, but I do occasionally pull out Lance. Lance was really fun for me in Try, and basically never again, because you could counter on 3 hits. Maybe I'd enjoy World Lance, actually, because I believe 3-hit counter returned in World. Which means I'll probably enjoy it in Rise as well, because the weapons seem about the same in Rise as they did in World. But, yeah, Lance, after it lost that 3-hit counter, and obviously Lance before counters existed were terrible because they played like shit. Of course, referring to 2nd and 1st generation Lance, which was a miserable experience. Basically, evade Lance was the only effective way to play. You wouldn't really do guard Lance because, again, you were either attacking or guarding. You had to commit to one or the other. You couldn't attack and then go into a guard, which is what you can do through counters. And in Try, you had the freedom to do that basically whenever you wanted, because again, you could do a full 3-hit combo and then go into a guard. Can't do it in this game. Well, oh, I've got guard up, so I guarded it. Excellent. I wasn't sure if I had guard up on this set. Sometimes I don't have guard up on my Lance sets. I don't think I have it on my 4 ultimate set. Something like that. But I do have it here, fortunately. I'm glad. Let's get a corkscrew jab. He got flinched there. Fortunately, he didn't do a run or anything like that. Gun Lance, I actually... It's hard to know how I feel about Gun Lance compared to Lance. I don't know which one I dislike more. They're both pretty slow, pretty annoying. In certain situations. Sometimes they're okay, but definitely not something that I want to use for an extended period of time. It wears on me. I don't mind equipping Lance or Gun Lance every now and again, like maybe once every 10 hunts. But if I do 10 hunts in a row with either Lance or Gun Lance, it's really, really annoying. I feel like I can't move properly. The thing is, with the Greatsword, for example, it's a fairly fast sheath. It's not a mobile weapon type, by any means. However, there's something about the way it plays. You feel like you still have the mobility, because you're incentivized to sheathe often. So if you're sheathed often, that means you can move pretty easily. But with something like this, it actually incentivizes you to keep the weapon out, because it's a slow sheath, and you've got a shield. But then, to get around, it's really kind of annoying. I mean, we do have things like shield assault here in this game. But if we're talking about portable 3rd, 3 ultimate, 4 ultimate... No. It's shit. Well, it's not shit, but it can become that. It can feel like that over time, or against certain monsters, particularly the ones that move a lot. Teostra is close to being that, because Teostra likes to charge around the place quite a bit. So you do almost feel as if you pull your weapon out, like in this situation right here. I have to basically sheath my weapon, and then in doing so, I almost got hit. It's just, it feels out of balance. I'm not into it. Definitely there are people who can get something out of Lance, but the funny thing with Lance is that most people are drawn to it out of a need to be protected. They feel like if they've got a big shield, they can avoid the damaging hits. But really, I don't think that that's the right way to approach it. Oh my god, am I going to be affected by Blast? I was not affected by Blast. Well, thank fuck for that. Now, keeping in mind I'm not using the Lance because I can shield the Teostra Supernova. I really didn't even consider that to be something I could do with this set when I was equipping it. I just thought, oh, I haven't used Lance recently, so let's use it. But fortunately I can shield Supernovas, so actually I would say that Lance with guard up is actually not a bad thing to use for Teostra, even though he does a bit of running around. Ha! When am I upping my Palico hunts from 3 to 105? I don't know. I don't think ever. I think it needs to stay there forever. Because it's good. I would actually rather have the statement of me clearly not liking Prowler than having everything at flat 110 on that guild card, really. Because it's funny, it's really hilarious to just leave it there. Yeah, the explosion is only blockable if you have guard up. That is the nature of guard up. Anything that normally wouldn't be guardable becomes guardable. And I suppose that includes the explosion, although I wasn't entirely sure if it included it, because I don't think I've ever really tried to block an explosion, at least not recently. Not so recently that I would remember if it were blockable. Turns out that it is, so hopefully I can retain a memory of that for a few years and then promptly forget it again. That's how it is usually. The little details escape you every now and again. Unless you really keep yourself up to date, which I generally don't. As you probably know, I only really play Monster Hunter when I'm recording it these days. But that's because I play in cycles. I'm playing a lot of Souls in my own time at the moment, and I spent maybe, I would say, a full 12 months of not playing Souls in my own time. Probably longer. It happens in cycles, you know. Just wanted to check something in my chat. I noticed that you retracted a comment there, Chubby. I didn't ignore it intentionally. I noticed it, but I was talking at the time. You mentioned if I had a PayPal. I didn't see what else you said. But, oh, one faint away. I'm actually quite willing to set up donations if that's what you were getting at. It's just that, yeah, you're the second person ever to really mention it. So, which might be enough to get me to set it up. I don't like the whole thing of setting up a PayPal for the channel for the reason that it looks like I'm asking for donations. But given that two people have said that they'd like to donate at some point, assuming that's what you were getting at, it does encourage me to set one up. So, I probably should. Because it would be nice. It would obviously incentivize me to do some recording. Even when I might not feel like doing it on some day or another, but it's not just to be incentivized, it's also to... If you feel that you can show appreciation through that, then I'd love to accept it. Doesn't need to be a lot of money, you know, you can give me $2. I'm happy to take it, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, I probably should really set it up, even though that's the reason why I didn't set it up in the first place, you know. It was never going to be something that I would set up unless several people mentioned it. So, yeah, I'll just do it. Ironic name too, Ron Money, yes. But, well, fitting name. Wouldn't necessarily say that that fits under irony. Of course, the word irony is one of the most misused terms in the modern world. And I even misuse it sometimes. Sadly. Damn it. I'm worried about being hit by this. Fortunately, I can shield without triggering an explosion that will hurt me if I am blasted. But, yeah. What I'll do is I'll hide it in the description somewhere. And if someone asks for it, I'll tell them, mate, it's in the description there. Because again, it feels weird. I think part of it has to do with, what is it that I would do that would be worth someone giving me money? I think that's what it comes down to. That whole thought process doesn't really sit with me, because I always, I guess it's not that I'm a true perfectionist, but I do feel as if I can always do a little better, so that's what it comes down to. I would say Lance versus Tio would be a terrible idea if you didn't have guard up. But if you do have guard up, it seems to be a great thing. I would say the monster that really sticks out to me as being the best to use for Lance, not in this game, but just in general, would be Giganox. Whenever I use a Lance against Giganox, I don't know what it is, but everything he does just gets shut down. It's really interesting. It must be because of how he always tries to stay on you, and just all of his attacks are so well telegraphed. It just feels as if I'm using a Lance, it cannot do anything. It's very interesting. And I enjoy it. Crit status 5-3 slot, not too bad. Thanks, Ethan. And thank you, Chubby, I do appreciate that. Yeah, I do try to put effort into what I do. I think for some people, going live is a very, you know, it's an effort-free process. They just go live and sit there and play the game. That's not a bad thing to do. There's nothing wrong with that, but commentary is a big part of what I do. It's not that it's a performance, but it's a product. It's like going to a live show. You don't go to a live concert to see emotionless people playing their music. You go there to have an experience. I don't entirely consider this to be like a live performance of what I do, but it is in a way. Let's do another Teostra, I don't mind. Yeah, Blast is a scary status ailment. Especially if you're going up against an Elder Dragon, because they do a lot of damage already. And then if you get hit by Blast, or rather, hit while blasted, that's incredibly heavy damage. It's especially scary when you're a lance user, even though you've got a shield to hide behind. You can't really get out of it unless you're rolling properly, so you have to sheathe the lance, which is a very slow process. And yeah, it's not great. Yeah, getting hit while rolling is also annoying. What was the monster again? The reason why I always forget is because I've always got some train of thought that I'm pursuing. And then I forget what the fucking quest was. Come on, Doomlink, you looked at it. What was it? Can't remember. Of course, when I look at it again, I'll be like, that's right, that's what it was. It's annoying. Alright, oh, it was... okay. Really was just Teostra again, that's alright. We'll use a different weapon type. We'll use something else that I don't often use. Hunting Horn, how about that? Hunting Horn. Doomlink uses a Hunting Horn. Shock horror. It's very interesting. I've recently started using Dragon against Teostra. You guys probably know that traditionally I use water, but you know what, we'll use water. Can we break head? Asks Muldoon. I was trying to break the head as much as I could last hunt, but I should be able to do that rather well. I do have Knockout King on this set. This is my Hunting Horn set. Very functional, but not attractive. You probably know what I'm talking about. If you look at these skills, very functional. But if you compare it to what you would normally find with higher level people in this game, not as attractive as a set of skills. But I'm more about the function than whether or not it's attractive, although sometimes I do give in to the temptation to make my skills look more attractive than they are functional. But anyway, what are our skills? That's easy to remember. Cool. So I'll pretty much only be doing attack boost L and defense boost L. Although wind resistance might... no, wind resistance isn't very helpful for this fight. Okay, let's go. Is attack L worth it at endgame with a horn? Well, the way I look at it logically is because the horn is weak, it's not a very strong weapon, I want to give it just a bit of extra damage so it's not quite as weak. Whether or not it's worth it, I don't know. Strictly speaking, it might not be, but in my mind, that's how I legitimize it. That's how I rationalize the use of attack up large. For a weapon that's a little weak, I will give it an extra boost with attack up large. That's what I do. Makes sense to me. Alright. Good day, Teostra. No use playing skills right now, or playing songs, rather. Because I don't have any teammates here. But I can, well, there is a use in playing songs. This one. Please play it. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, he's not doing his charge. That's very nice of you. I know you think you have a lot of range with that attack, and you do, but you don't have that much range. Take it easy, Teostra. Now, as I understand it, the best KO damage is the backward swing. Let me try to demonstrate this. That, I believe, is the best KO damage with this weapon. Slightly better. I mean, it might not be the same in this game, but traditionally, that's usually how it is. Slightly better than the X plus A. The pound. Alright. Not everyone's here yet. I could be setting up songs, but a bit too focused. I'm hitting that there head. Oh, was hoping for a turnaround. Again, beautiful mobility with the hunting horn. That's one of the benefits of the weapon type. Let's just do it. That was a little dangerous. Well, yeah, slow DPS does benefit from it. Does make sense. Okay, song time. If I can remember the order. No, that's not the order. There's purple, red, blue, red. Oh, I swapped it. Oh no, no, that's not attacker. That's not. Or is it? Yeah, it's max health plus 50. Oh well. So it goes blue, then red. Uh-oh. Thought he was coming after me. Now, some people would say that the way... Excuse me. I remember it now. Take it easy. It's been a little while. I will do the right thing and play my song while hunting. How about that? It is the hunting horn, not the don't hunt and horn. I don't know if that's supposed to be funny or what. Really? That's not how it is? Oh, for fuck's sake. Have I really... Okay, so I was kind of right the first time. But the confusion was that I didn't end with the purple note. Okay, now I'm really fucking confused. What the fuck is going on? Okay. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. Usually I'm better than this. So we're going red. These guys are probably like, where are the songs? Where are they? Good question. Good fucking question, honestly. Now let me heal myself up because I'm going to be at risk while playing the song, obviously. Because I will be doing an encore. Don't hunt and horn is not the meta. Because the entire design of the hunting horn, as of Portable Third, is hit the monster, because you can actually play the songs while hunting. And it's certainly not the meta for this game, because you're actually incentivized to do it because you get double notes every time you hit the monster. And double notes increases the effectiveness of the song. If you get double notes for all notes of a song, you do not have to encore. But anyway, I do remember the defense up song, at least. Oh shit, fuck, get out of the fuck! Here I am playing songs and I'm getting punished for it. Again, my camera was wiggling there because I'm moving my analog sticks to get out of the stun. I do this instead of... well, I don't even... Oh. My lighting is fucked. No one ever mentioned it. It's like magic, isn't it? It's like magic. But I am a bit dark, so I will have to fix that soon. I have to say, this has been a very, very pathetic hunting horn venture. I mean, when I do pull out the hunting horn, it's usually a little less sad. I didn't mean to oh, Christ. I can't believe what's going on. This has really been a terrible, terrible attempt at hunting horn today. Don't you interrupt it. I know you very well. In fact, I do believe that when you are playing a song with the hunting horn, the aggro chance increases. Can you fuck off? Go away. Just don't even do it. I didn't dive there because I knew I was going to clear it. But, yes, I do need to do another defense up. That's how I wanted to do it. And, okay, well, may as well get our defense plus 20, that's alright. But yes, I will fix my lighting a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean make a small adjustment. Okay. Okay, all good. It's not that dire of a situation that I would play that song. Okay. I do feel as if I've barely contributed to the hunt, even though I did manage to get attack large out. I do say attack large, even though it's 20% in this game. It's just how it is. I do have Euphony, but I don't usually use it because it helps to keep track of what the teammates are doing if I also lose the song. Do you understand? Okay. So you can see, because it went to 15%, that means that Attack of Blanche was no longer in effect. Whoop. So we'll stick with movement speed up. I don't think that we're going to be bouncing, really. So we don't need to encore that. There we go. I would have long since lost my KO build-up over time. I hate getting hit by that. Ooh. Poor Muldoon got hit by the blast. Oh, Muldoon, I saw that. What a terrible combo hit. There was nothing he could have done there. He was actually trapped in the corner by explosion attacks. That was really quite sad. I still have Sonic Smash 1, what the fuck? You guys are probably thinking, equip Sonic Smash 3 Doomlink. I probably don't have it. Seriously. I don't know why I don't, but I don't. I don't know if that guy still had defense up large, but obviously wasn't enough. I'm staying down here so that I'm not going to be attacked. Or rather, not going to be hit. Just extending my invulnerability period. Yeah, catching a GU stream is like seeing a unicorn. You are right about that. Sometimes it's only once, maybe even twice a month, but yeah, not that common. I'll be streaming for, well, I'll do one more hunt after this. I don't want you to stay up too late, but generally I try to have it at about 2 hours minimum, and I tend to not want to go that far over 2 hours. The time has passed rather quickly, so I'm happy to go for another hunt after this, and then we'll finish up at that point. I want to do a jump attack on your head, yeah. I wonder, okay, I've never considered this. Is KO damage in any way affected? Ooh, that looks painful. Is KO damage in any way affected by multipliers from aerial attacks? Because drop attacks or aerial attacks, depending on how you would want to refer to them, do have a pretty good, I don't even know what you would call it, motion value? Probably not motion value, because that's specific to weapons and weapon types, but basically, well no, I think that is motion value, isn't it? Yeah. But either way, I do wonder if that affects KO. Never really thought about it. Interesting thought. Now that Muldoon is back, I will play the attack song. It's the only way I'm actually going to contribute. Do more than one more hunt. Okay. If you really want to die tomorrow, then I'll assist in your, well, I wouldn't say it's assisted suicide, but it's definitely assisted something or other. I'm assisting in making your life much less pleasant, at the very least. Alright. Now this hunt would not have taken so long had I been playing better. I am almost entirely convinced of that fact. But that's okay. I can't always play perfectly well with a fucking hunting horn. I cannot believe we have not broken this head. Well, at least I hit him with the final attack. Because Sonic Smash is pretty good for damage, I've found. I shockingly did not get blasted by that. Stay away. Right, you're gonna do a turnaround. I know you're, I mean, the chances are pretty low. Okay, that was not what I wanted to do. Go on. I know I haven't gotten a KO yet. We're not talking about that. Although I have encouraged discussion through mentioning it. I can't see what the fuck is going on. Oh, no, that's not a head break, that's a claw break, shit. Get the movement speed up. I think everyone still has their attack. I hope. Turn around, Teostra. Oh, going for a claw. I'm just doing single attacks here because it... Oh, well, we didn't really want that, but if we can get that and... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Sorry if I hit anyone away. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. It's like the first time I've done the fucking pound, and I think I hit someone away. Although I couldn't really visually confirm that because there was a lot going on. Oh, fine. Oh, baby. Look at this. It's all become worth it. Now I can actually do a fucking combo with this actual ridiculous weapon that I seem to never be able to use properly. I mean, I can usually do fairly well with it, but not amazingly well. I'm not like the best hunting horn user in the Southern Hemisphere. But, yeah, let's go get that shiny. I see. Well, if you're a Monster Hunter viewer, like specifically Monster Hunter, then I apologize for leaving you behind by not recording Monster Hunter frequently enough. I will try to do it weekly. Really, like, commit to doing it weekly, because that's not much to commit to. I mean, one recording a week, come on. But sometimes I just don't do it. And I've been trying to do it. I barely made it because it's Saturday today. But, yeah, I thought about what I was going to record and I thought, shit. Has to be Monster Hunter. Because I have to commit. Come on, guys. Why are you going that way? God damn it. I have to... Oh, now that I've put bombs here, I'm not going to get a good... This is bad. I better just go for the detonate. Sorry, guys. I know you might have had bombs, but... Yeah, cool. So basically I had two choices there. Either I went for the wake-up hit... Okay, this is the conundrum that I was in. Either you have the wake-up hit be the bombs, or you have the wake-up hit be the final pound. The pound attack is a two-part attack. The first hit, you do not want to be the wake-up. However, I could have actually attempted that and gotten the damage off with the bombs as the wake-up, but that would have hit me. This first attack, well, that's not a demonstration. This is an attack. That second one is what I wanted as the wake-up, but because I had put bombs down, that would have hurt me. So, I just went for the bomb wake-up. By keeping away and ensuring that the bombs deal the wake-up damage. What you find, because for some reason it's become lost knowledge, but the damage multiplier that exists for sleep is immense. It's like 3 times damage. If not any more, then it's probably still at least double. And I think it was 3 times damage in the old days, but basically if you detonate a bomb, there is a delay on the damage dealt by a bomb. The way in which you can confirm this is if you put down a bomb and kick it, the explosion takes place for almost a full second before you get hit by it. What this means is that if you want to detonate bombs on the head, if you attack the head, like you're attacking through the bombs, but if your strike hits the head when you're detonating the bombs, the strike from your sword actually deals the damage before the bombs. So you've actually just lost your multiplier on the bombs, which is not good. You don't want that. Because I can assure you one random attack from a longsword is not going to be as good as getting the multiplier off on the bombs. And I believe that you technically only get the multiplier on one bomb, but generally the only sort of attacks that are going to be better than the bomb are things like greatsword charges, the final pound of a hammer, things like that. But just some random attack, no, you don't want that to be the wake. Are we still doing Teostra here? I think we are. Yeah, sorry guys, I've had my fill. Yeah. Well, there was a time when I was recording a lot more Monster Hunter, but it's waned lately. But do expect a lot of Monster Hunter Rise, really. Even if Rise is not a game that I'm going to like, for the first, maybe month is going a bit far, but maybe the first 3 weeks of the game coming out, expect mostly Monster Hunter Rise, like, you know, 4 videos, 5 videos a week. No, we'll say 4. Don't get too excited, Monster Hunter. I was about to call myself Monster Hunter. Don't get too excited, Doomlink, because the chances are pretty high that you're still going to want to record other stuff, so... yeah. Help with Grimclaw. Okay. Help, please. Okay. Just because you asked nicely, I'll do it. I'll help you. What have you got on the board today? Mutiny. You are on my Discord, aren't you, Chubby? I think you are. If I check, I believe you're there. No, I don't think you are. Well, if you would like an invite to my Discord, let me know. I mean, it's technically a closed community, but I'm not hiding it from anyone. I try to mention it whenever I can. Not everyone has Discord, so not everyone joins it. But yeah, for anyone who likes to watch my stuff consistently and wants announcements for when I go live and things of that nature, and also just to chat with me in general when I'm not live, that's the place to go. It's only for people who really like to watch my stuff, you know. Otherwise, there's no real point in joining. Alright, I'll send it through. Send you an invite, you're free to join. You will be put into the lobby, at which point I will need to give you a role. It will give you access to the other channels. That'll be easy. I'll just give you an invite to the... well, I call it the lobby, it's actually called the welcome channel. Yeah, no problem. There you go. That is my server right there. Looks like everyone has cleared out. Unless... no, there was only one other guy here. But... he seemed to have disappeared before I joined, technically. I might just leave. It's a bit too much effort to wait at this point. Crown hunting. Enough monkeying around. If I'm not fast, they're gonna just 2-man it. Get in there. I'll give you the roll now. There we go. Yeah, I had a feeling they'd just go and depart. That's alright. I can live with that. Alright. So, yeah, turns room's the best way to go. Again, I like the turns rooms for the reason that I don't have to leave the room to fight something different. Usually each time they'll post a different monster. So it usually works out in that way. I've always decried the people who find it necessary to even bother with turns rooms, but the reality is that it works well for this format, so let's go for it. Obviously, to elaborate on that, basically, if you make a room for the quest that you want to do, people will join. Seriously. But they think that they're gonna get what they want done faster by doing 3 other people's quests before doing yours and then doing it again. It's such an incredible waste of time. Now technically, it can be good because you end up getting materials from other monsters as well. That can be a good thing. Just if you're in the early game and suddenly you want something that you didn't know that you wanted, that's pretty much how the game works. You make an armor set in the future, and then you require materials from a monster that you would have only fought because you had fought it for someone else in a turns room. That can be a great thing, but generally, it's kind of a waste of time. So, at least I feel. I think it would be easier just to do exactly what you wanted in your own room. It's just better. Let's go Sword and Shield. Always love some Sword and Shield. We'll go Dragon. I already have my Dragon, Sword and Shield, and after having said that people probably shouldn't bother with Elatrion, here I am with the Elatrion Sword and Shield. And the reason why is because I don't like many of the Dragon Sword and Shields. I don't know what it is, but all of them sort of feel a little subpar. A little bit. Only slightly, but they don't sit with me entirely. I'm of course going Defender High because my defense, get a load of this, 708. All of these armor pieces are fully upgraded. It's very cute of you to be pointing at the departure area. Very cute of you. But anyway. Royal Assassination. Royal Assassination. Speak English, Doomlink, please. But yeah, this is just the standard Wraithian quest. Fairly simple. It's not going to take very long for us to complete. I don't know why this person... Let's think about it for a moment. We are here in a turns room. We're going to be doing this guy's quest no matter what. Why would he not post the hyper? Higher chance to get a Wraithian Mantle. You've got a team of 4 here, ready to do your quest. Why would you just not post the hyper? I can't imagine that he wants this quest complete, specifically. It's not this guy's key quest. I know that for a fact. That's a bit weird. Yes, I see your DMs, Chubby. You're free to DM me whenever you'd like to, but I'd also recommend you communicate with me on the server, just so that, you know, it's more of a community thing. I like my little community. I love you guys. I made videos for 10 years with no community, so I love having one, small as it may be. Not to be depressing, but you know. Alright, you can see that I'm mostly aiming for the face, just because the Sword and Shield, given how incredibly mobile it is, it's very easy for me to stay on target with the weak point, so I'm aiming for the weak point. Pretty easy to do. Love the full combo with the... Oh, I got flinched out of my full combo by the Bowgunner, but that's alright. He's probably doing more damage than me anyway, technically. Oh. I like your sudden tail flips, Wraithian. Makes you look like a very dynamic dragon. Which you are. I don't say it looks like a dynamic dragon to try and belittle you. As if you're not really very dynamic. You just appear dynamic on the surface. You are dynamic, I like you. I've always liked you. It's Rathalos I've never liked. That's not to say that I am partial to females. It's just that Rathalos with his fucking flying and mid-air fireballs, not a fan. Never been much of a fan. Yeah. Is that the name of this place? It is, Ancestral Steppe. I'd forgotten what this place was called, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is a Monster Hunter 4 location. This first appeared in... I guess 2013, was it? When the Japanese Monster Hunter 4 came out. This was the first place that you would go to. This is equivalent to your deserted islands, your misty peaks. This is where you would find Gore Magala for the first time. It's a very important area in Monster Hunter 4. And of course, by extension, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, which was the English release, and of course the G-Rank version. I'm surprised that she's lasted this long, to be completely honest, but if we can one-zone her, that would be just delightful. I do not want to have to chase after this woman. I call her woman loosely, please understand. I do not have some sort of... Well, I haven't misunderstood her as being some kind of human female. Arctic Ridge. Well, I keep forgetting that that's what it's called, to be honest. The only reason why I know what Arctic Ridge is because I think, well, hold on. The 4th generation one is called Frozen Seaway, so that must mean that Arctic Ridge is the Snowy Mountain. Or Snowy Mountains. The reason why I still call it the Snowy Mountains is because I've always known it that way, which is why I call the Verdant Hills the Forested Hills. It's just the name that I'm used to. But yeah, Freedom 2 Tigrex, that's... that's Snowy Mountains, alright. I didn't play Freedom 2, although I could have at the time. Instead I played Freedom Unite, which was same game, just G-Rank. It was good. It was a good game. Hasn't aged incredibly well, but I get a lot of joy out of it still, whenever I do play it. And I do play it for the channel every now and again as well. So yeah. Oh, Dragon Attack plus 13, Ice Attack plus 6, that's an interesting talisman. Not interested, actually. Well, it's interesting, but I'm not interested in taking it. Just to clarify that. So it's interesting, but not interesting. What does that mean, Doomlink? Well, hopefully I've clarified that. Okay. I feel like I'm missing stuff. What am I missing? I think I'm missing paintballs. Oh, yeah. I remember putting them away before. What else are we missing? We're still missing something. What is it? Doomlink. What have you put away and have neglected to return to your inventory? Ah, that's what it is. Barrel Bomb Large. Use item sets, Doomlink. I know. Leave me alone. It's fairly simple, Chubby. All you need to do, very, very easy. You get... I'll type it into the chat because it's a little confusing. So it's PPSSPP, that is the name of the emulator, and then you just Google Monster Hunter Freedom Unite ISO file, and then you just load the ISO file in the emulator, and then you'll be able to play the game. Very simple. It's basically plug and play. You can hook up whatever controller you'd like to, as long as the controller can practically connect. Did this guy just... hold on. No, it was Yes that joined later. Not that you can... well, you can see him, but instead of YYS, I decided to call him Yes. Yeah, I thought that the person who just joined immediately just threw up the quest going, do my quest now. No, it wasn't that kind of situation. But yeah, very easy to emulate. Freedom Unite, would highly recommend you do it. It's a much better experience than having to play on the PSP like we did back in the day. And, yeah, if you use a controller, you don't have to use the claw. If you do get confused as to how to, there's a specific way that you can set your controller button layout to be able to use your right analog stick as the camera, as well as using your directional buttons. There's a little plus that you can press on those buttons to say, I want to also use the right analog stick. Well, in other words, use another button as well as the default button for this particular action. So, yeah, fairly easy to get set up. What are we hunting again? Oh shit, this business. Remember Doomlink, what was it? Every fucking time. Every fucking time. You know what I'll do? I'll just go raw. Whatever it ends up being. I mean, why don't I remember? I mean, it was something... it was... Hyper Gold Wraithing. I'm glad I remembered. Because that's Heavy Pierce. Heavy Pierce territory. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with Claw as well. Let me make that very clear. But even if you are comfortable with Claw, why is everyone leaving? What's wrong with you people? So Karnaz left and then Yus was like, I'm leaving too. All it takes is two. And then we've got... well, the room has been annihilated, basically. yeah, you know what, next time I feel like playing this game, we'll do Joke Weapon Roulette. Good idea. Very good idea. Didn't even think to do that. I mean, I have been thinking about it somewhat recently, but today it didn't even cross my mind. So, yeah, I will do that. Moxie and Foodie. That's great, actually. Those are two excellent skills. Okay. Now this is my heavy pierce set in case you haven't seen it. Doesn't get much better than this for what I want, which is something that is not reliant on something like crouch fire, because for me I've always felt with crouch fire that I need a shield if I'm going to crouch fire, because that's how you balance it out. Because you are very vulnerable while crouch firing, so how do you balance that out? You put a shield on the front. Well, shielding isn't that good, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, in this game. And that's not really how I've played traditionally anyway. What I've always preferred with heavy bowgun is to be highly maneuverable, highly mobile. And that's evade extender right there. Now that can really make it harm to have a good set sometimes, because you end up, not everything has evade extender, obviously. Something like recoil and pierce, like there are lots of armor pieces that coincide with one another that work in mixed sets that will allow you to get a good mix of skills, but when you throw something weird like evade extender in the mix, for a mixed armor set, it can really hurt the set. But this is really good. This is not a bad set at all. This is better, I would say, than my 4 ultimate set, although there is no shot booster in 4 ultimate. Thank you, Soljin. Oh no. Don't you join the quest with that shit equipped. Oh yeah, also, referring to what Chubb was mentioning before. It will forever remain at 3, I'll have you know. Yeah, I remember fighting Tigrex with that fish. That was funny. Because I tend to not... Like, if I can get away with it, I'll try not to bring a weapon that just has a totally unsuitable element to a fight. But that room obviously would have been a room where I felt that I could get away with it, so I did it. And, yeah. I'm glad that was memorable. Soljin is smiling. There's not much to smile about when there's a cat in the room, I can tell you that. Or maybe I'm just particularly miserable. Come on, cat. Are you considering what real weapon you're going to use? Should I actually play Monster Hunter today, or am I going to play the spin-off with the Prowler? Let's do this, says Soljin. Well, understandable sentiment, because you have been sitting here waiting for a little while. So evade extender, the reason why you would use it with something like a heavy bowgun is because heavy bowgun is almost exclusively reliant on rolls in order to move around. When you have that weapon out, you walk so slowly with it that you're just rolling around. Evade extender will let you move very fast. It's, well, not just very fast, but you will get from point A to point B very quickly is what I mean. And the reason why that's good is because you can not only evade the monster very easily when you can evade further, it's also really good for positioning. It's great for catching up with the monster. This is the way I look at it. Not everyone looks at it this way, because they haven't thought to look at it this way. But if I remember back to my 2015 Random Hunts recordings, I used to rant about this. Exactly what I'm about to say. Evade extender is great for damage, because it's great for DPS. You're spending less time evading the monster and more time shooting the monster because you don't have to commit as much time to evading. You're literally committing half the length of time because you're doubling your evade speed. Well, evade distance, I should say, strictly. So, therefore, your DPS is higher, you'll be getting more damage out, and you'll be getting hit less. If you think about it, getting hit is terrible for DPS because you have to put your weapon away, you have to go and heal in a safe moment to do so. And it makes all the difference. Evade Extender in conjunction with Heavy Bowgun is huge. Especially if you spend a long time without Evade Extender, and then you try Evade Extender, you'll find that you play so much better that way. And that's the reason why, for me, it's almost a requirement with my Heavy Bowgun sets to have Evade Extender. If it's not Evade Extender, it's Crouch Fire, and that will be shielding. And I'm not into that in this version of the game, this version of Monster Hunter. So it does not increase the evade window, let me make that very clear. You do not get more iframes with Evade Extender, it is purely intended to be used to get out of the way of the monster. And allow this hunt here to be an excellent demonstration of why that would be useful. Because I'm going to be spending a lot of time getting the hell out of the way of this monster, because Gold Raytheon and Silver Rathalos, particularly in hyper form, are relentless. Absolutely relentless. They can, if they get an eye on you and decide that they want to attack you repeatedly. See this right here? See how I can do one roll, spin in their direction and start shooting? That's what I'm talking about. That's what you want with Evade Extender. That's what you want with a Heavy Bowgun. It balances out the, well, basically how it works with Heavy Bowgun is because you're doing more damage, they try to balance it out by making it harder. That was a good flash, that was a really good flash. They balance it out by making it slower and harder to use. But if you've got Evade Extender, you've almost completely mitigated that issue with the fact that the Heavy Bowgun is slow and difficult to walk around with, because you're evading very far each time. And you can cover a lot of ground in a short time, and with a monster like this, as I was trying to say before, a lot of ground can be covered in relentless attacks from a monster like this. So if you can just get the hell out of there, 3 consecutive rolls with Evade Extender, I have witnessed it before, can only be just enough to get out of the way of a relentless attack cycle from a monster such as this. 3 consecutive Evade Extender rolls is barely cutting it sometimes. And it's kind of impressive to see, but yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to demonstrate it as much here because I haven't been targeted too much, and they're doing very good flashing here. But definitely, Evade Extender is the way to go. That's why I do this with Gold Raytheon. The reason why I use this set is because I don't want to be touched. And the reason why I'm not going to be touched by this monster, that was I was hoping that we weren't going to lose the flinch opportunity, the knockdown opportunity, on account of the flash that was thrown. You see that beautiful, almost tubular roll? I love that. But yeah, see how I'm able to very quickly get behind that trap? Very quickly get into position? You can't do that normally with Heavy Bowgun. You're too busy slowly walking around, and again, you don't want to be putting this weapon away. Very slow sheathing with this weapon. Now it's possible that you could either swap out. Okay, you could have one of 2 skills. You could either have Evade Extender or Quick Sheath. Quick Sheath can, in certain situations, do the job that Evade Extender does. The difference is that Evade Extender is not only useful for positioning, it's also useful for evading, obviously. You're not going to be evading more easily in the same number of situations as you would with Evade Extender if you're using Quick Sheath. Now Quick Sheath is very nice, I like it with Heavy Bowgun, but Evade Extender is a catch-all, very effective skill for Heavy Bowgun. The reason why I talk about this in this way, with a fair amount of passion, is, and I suppose I shouldn't talk about this game, because if people want good mobility with a Heavy Bowgun in this game, they just use Valor, but even in all the other Monster Hunter games, all of them, I was the one guy using Evade Extender. Like, I was the only fucking one who had worked out why Evade Extender would be so great. Now, I fucked up there because I rolled to the wrong side. I thought that the tail was going to come from the left, it came from the right, so I rolled into it. Had I rolled to the right, or excuse me, had I rolled to the left, I would have avoided that. Now that's the Gold Raytheon special. Right there. Very annoying. But, certainly. And again, foodie. This is the benefit to foodie. Here I am with all my health still. But seriously, no one uses evade extender with heavy bowgun, and I don't know why. I've got no idea what it is. I don't know what it is about that fucking skill that people do not connect with the heavy bowgun insofar as it allowing a person not only to evade consistently, but just in general have a really good damage output. They just don't do it. And that's not because they crouch fire and use shields and shit. Like, sometimes they... Well, I'm assuming that's what it is. Maybe people just think that if they're using a heavy bowgun, they should crouch fire, but... I've never been much of a crouch firer, and I suppose because I've never been much of a crouch firer, I've always thought, well, how can I use this gun in the same way that I would use a light bowgun? That might be the difference. Maybe that's a rather unique way to look at it. It's the desire to use it as a light bowgun, which might be weird. So, with that in mind, it was very natural for me to put on evade extender. Just wanted to see how dark it was on my webcam. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not super bright. I'm not exactly illuminated here, but I'm visible. Being visible is alright. Is that going to be a successful capture? We might deal the necessary damage while in the trap. Let's see. Can we do it? Yeah, she may very well always tail flip to the to her left side. If so, then that's my mistake. Oh well. Guess I'm feeling a little backwards today. But yeah, if you've ever experienced Hyper Gold Raytheon or Hyper Silver Rappalos, you know what stress is, because this monster, very, very relentless, very aggressive, and what's crazy is some combos can deal... If you were to get hit by every attack from a full combo from one of these monsters, you would have died 4 times over, seriously, because sometimes it can be 4, 5, 6 hits. I don't know how I... Why did I roll forward? And also that right there, R-star, let that be proof that you're wrong. Because she just tail flipped to her right. See, I wasn't going to say that you were wrong, but I thought, okay, maybe I'm wrong, it's possible, but no. Yeah, she alternates. She alternates. So, yeah. Doesn't matter if I survive the tail flip because I get killed by the poison. And let me say that it's not common that I'll double card on this monster these days. Usually I'm doing a little better, but I suppose today's not a good day of play. There's not much point dropping knowledge bombs on how to play if I die 2 times. But oh well. Sometimes we know more about the theory than we know about the practice, but I will say that I used to play a lot better than I do these days. I'm much more casual now. And I don't play regularly either. Ah, that is the right way to go. Well, someone must have... Yeah, someone had... and can you imagine fainting as a prowler? What a thing. But, yeah. Thankfully someone brought insurance, which is a good thing to do. I either go insurance or Moxie. I thought the Moxie would be sufficient, and then I realised that I'm playing like shit today, so... That's a little unfortunate, isn't it? We shouldn't be too far from victory, though. Aside from the fact that we've got a cat who thinks that they're contributing. Oh, hey, look at that, that's lit. King of the skies, well, not king of my ass. Damn it, was hoping for that moment. That's a reference, but a reference of myself. I'm glad you enjoyed the double card. Whatever entertains. I believe I'm going the right way for this. I hope I am. Or it's not really far down, is it? No, it's not. Okay, well, I'm not going the wrong way to get there. Let's go here. Yeah, Weakener is also very good. Well, I don't know if it's very good. I've got no idea how good it is actually, but just the description alone is enough to suggest to me that it's worthwhile getting. Now, if I wanted to get into... Look how quick it is for me to... Think about how quickly I just got into critical distance. I could have continued shooting there, out of critical distance, but I went straight in there, which may have been unnecessary with shot booster, which is what I had. But assuming that it wasn't... Oh, fuck. But yeah, assuming that it wasn't, how quickly did I just snap into critical distance? It was almost the same amount of time it would have taken for me to take a single shot. Just so quick and easy. Oh, beautiful. Good night, Gold Raytheon. You fought valiantly. You bitch. But really, good fun. Oh yeah. Makes sense, Chubby. I do miss the little changes that they make in the more recent games, although that may have been a thing in the older games, I can't remember. But, yeah, I didn't really pay attention whether or not that was something you could do in this game, I don't know why. I guess it's because I never enlarged the map. I used to enlarge the map in the other games because it was, it felt necessary, but not in this game, really. But I could guess that I was going the right way. I'll do one more hunt. Or I could go to 3 hours. I got a message on my phone. Oh no, it didn't. It just vibrated randomly. What was it for? Oh. That was probably a mixed vibration. Thank you for the subscription, Asta. It's on my phone right now. Actually, if you want to check this out. Actually, it's backwards, never mind. But on my phone I have DMs from Chubby and a subscription from Asta. But, yeah. It's backwards because I have to be on the left side of the screen. I got a mantle. That is number 3. Not that I need it. I've got some cosmic tickets at this point. More than some. To describe it as some would be 704. We started at 699. Yeah, I'll do a 3 hour. Which will probably be 2 more hunts, to be honest. Alright. What is our next hunt? We are in a turns room, I hope. I believe we are. Yes. What is hunt number 2? The cat probably thinks it's his turn, even though he joined after me. Just adorable. Just warms my heart. Of course I mean that in a very non-genuine way. Very tongue-in-cheek. I don't know why you feel inclined to continue using that cat. But I guess I can't make fun of you for dying because I died twice. In the end, 2 Blademaster deaths is equivalent to 1 cat death, so I should shut up. Alright, what do we do? Well, I'm actually not Blademaster, I'm a gunner, so... maybe I can actually say something. This is a fun quest. Go with a fire weapon. Because all those monsters are weak to fire. Fire is not Nagakuga's primary weakness, but it is his secondary. So we should do well with whatever we equip. Let's go dual blades. Why the hell not? My fire dual blades are the same fire dual blades that I use in Freedom Unite. It is the gold and silver Rathalos dual blades. Okay. Here are the stats. Well, here are the stats. And then here are the skills. Okay. Attack large. And weaken up. Nice. With escape artist. Oh, that's right, sorry Ethan. How much time do you have, man? We will play if you've still got time. I've obviously, if Ethan came into the stream, I'm guessing it was to see what was going on with me, because he was wanting to play with me, but yeah, we'll do that. I was going to do 2 hours, Ethan, but I was encouraged to do 3. But if you've still got time, we will play as soon as I finish. 2 more quests to go. 20 minutes? Can you do it, Ethan? I've got no idea how late you're going to stay up. And I wouldn't encourage you to drink coffee either. Not under these circumstances. Oh, this baby Ludroth, look at him. Look at him. He's actually not that small. He looked really small from up there, but once I came down here it wasn't, so... It became clear that he wasn't like an actual tiny Royal Ludroth. This is way too late for most of my viewers. Pretty much all of my viewers, this is way too late. It's fucking 3 in the afternoon, my god. For me, that is. Usually I would finish up a stream at like 1 in the afternoon. And that's if it were a really long one. Don't want to get caught in that attack. I never fight Royal Ludroth these days. He is a tri-monster, of course. But he's just one of those monsters that no one ever really needs anymore. In a game like Portable Third, for example... What? Oh, you're fighting something else. Makes sense. I was gonna say, I thought he might have been fighting the Royal Ludroth and I hadn't noticed that he was in the room, but no, he is actually fighting something else in a different room, thank god. Sorry, says Soldier, no problem, I died twice before, you're welcome to die once here. I'm Water Blighted, which is a little annoying when you're sort of focused on stamina with a weapon type like Dual Blade. It's not too terrible. We are up to full with our charge. This is a Demon Dancing opportunity. Of course, Demon Dance does the best damage, but only if you get all the attacks out. That is the fine print. All attacks. If you're missing attacks, not the best damage. And it is a little hard to be consistent with Demon Dance. Still got Water Blade up and Blight. I was hoping that it would have disappeared by now. Really. I do need to get my skills to level 3. Well, I've got Bloodwind too. I might even have Bloodwind 3 at this point, really. You would think that at Hunter rank 705 or 704, whatever the hell it is, that I would have taken the time to get my Hunter Arts to level 3 for all of them. But that should give you an indication of how little I pay attention to Hunter Arts. It's not a big part of my play. It's a little thing on the side that I don't even really need to use, but choose to use because it's there. Why not? If it's there, just use it. It's similar to how I don't focus on styles. With styles, however, it's really different. You really actually need to invest in learning how to use a style, whereas a Hunter Art is just there. So you use it. But I've never actually completed a quest, ever, with the intention of getting a Hunter Art. The Hunter Arts that I have only acquired just after having completed quests randomly. That's the point. Yeah, that is really annoying. Can we just kill this fucking thing? I mean, seriously, I understand that I was handicapped by playing with a cat, but can we please kill... There we go. I might not have been handicapped by playing with a cat. Some cats are okay. Let's not be too discriminatory. I mean, I'm not a cat fan, we all know this, but... Some of them are okay, some of them deal good damage. Okay. Yeah, some of them are really hard to get, like, what's the... There was a level 3 that is actually... That's right, Chaos Oil level 3. There's a dumbass quest for it. I forgot what it was now. Was it the Hyper Gold and Hyper Silver in the single quest? Maybe it is. I hate that. I wouldn't wish that quest on my worst enemy. I mean, I'd be able to do it if I got a good team, but it's not worth it. Chaos Oil 2 is perfectly fine. I'll keep with my Chaos Oil. How lazy am I that I haven't even used Wolf's Maw yet? I mean, seriously. What's my problem? Just do it, Doomlink. Wake up. Okay, maybe I could have actually pretended that it was all according to plan. I didn't want to waste my Wolf's Maw on a Royal Ludroth. We'll just say that. It was totally not Doomlink. Entirely forgetting to use Wolf's Maw. Ugh. I was in a really bad point, or position there. I don't think I've done that quest. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Because I know I don't have Chaos Oil level 3. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay. I didn't dive in that moment because running normally would have cleared that attack, but I got flinched by the fucking gunner. I took that hit for one reason and one reason only. Because of the gunner. He's limping. Damn it. Didn't get to kill him. Is he shooting ice shots on a fucking Nagakuga? Are you taking the piss? I'm sorry, but are you taking the piss? Do you have no other shots to shoot? Ice! Beggars belief. Anyway, so, up to Area 8. I nearly fucking fell off my chair when I saw that. Ice shots! Let's, not to be an asshole, but what are you doing? Primary weakness, thunder. Secondary, fire. But no one, well, maybe he takes some ice damage, but it would be pretty pathetic. I don't know if he was, I don't think Chubby was asking how to unlock it. I think it was just a comment on what a quest, as in to say, that's quite an extreme quest to do in general. Nice work, says Soljin. Well, I'm getting my calves, although I probably don't have much more space. Oh no, I have a full field pouch. Excuse me, empty field pouch. The opposite end of the spectrum to full. Yeah. Well, I guess what I meant to say was, I have the full availability of the pouch. Anyway. There's nothing to apologise for. The information is there for anyone who wants to know. They are welcome to read it and learn. I don't enjoy the fights individually, actually. So if they're together, I fear that I might really not have any fun at all. Yeah, I mean, this guy, I mean, a good cat player, to be completely honest, is not worth my time. But someone like this guy, I don't know. I really don't know. And yeah, basically flash spamming. That's pretty much the only way you do it. I mean, you can do it other ways. You can, but the problem is it's hyper, so you're not going to get as many damage thresholds on. Are you kidding? I know why. I'm going to show you guys why I just died. I know exactly why. And you're going to laugh when you see it. Now, I have a certain resistance to thunder that might concern you. Oh no, it's actually not too bad. I thought this was my minus 21 thunder resistance set. Okay, now I don't have much of an excuse. Excuse me. I did take heavy damage there, I won't deny, but that was more than I was expecting. I don't know if you saw that, but I mean, it was a lot of damage that I just took. I thought that I'd not die there. Anyway. Well, he might be learning how to use the cat, I don't know. Speaking of dying though, I've been doing that quite a lot in this recording. Regrettable as it may be. Fortunately, I'm past the point now where I feel the need to prove a point, or, you know, express some kind of skill of the game. I'm beyond that. I'm better than to play good. No, it helps to play well, but today's not one of those days, you see. But I will say that there's a... oh, got a sapphire. But there are certain days where you just don't play well, and then other days where you certainly, like, you're never even going to die. You're not close to death, ever. It just happens. Some days are not great, and then other days are perfectly fine. I find that with Monster Hunter. I did actually, I think, successfully roll the first hit there, but it was prolonged, you see. Doomlink's card hunts, yeah, exactly. Thanks. Just to encourage me. Get out of here. Well, actually, don't get out of here. Stay until you're limping. Please. Okay. So we might end up finishing the video just shy of 3 hours, but I don't really know. I'm not desperate to get to that point. Excellent. So the back is the elemental weak point. So if you're hitting the back and you're worried, oh, am I doing good damage? Well, if you don't have a good elemental weapon, then the answer would be no. But I'm doing 32 element, not too bad. That was not a terrible hunt. Although, I feel like it would have gone a little better had we removed the cat and gotten a different teammate. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. But I wasn't going to remove the cat. The cat was the quest host, actually, so that wouldn't have worked at all. Imagine that. Imagine kicking the cat and then posting their quest, just to do it without them. That would be very funny. But yes, I will commit to 1 recording of Monster Hunter per week. Again, it is not much to commit to, but it's the least I can do for my Monster Hunter fans, like the people who watch my stuff, mainly because of the fact that I'm a person who records Monster Hunter. It is definitely worthwhile for me to put out videos that they enjoy, or at the very least videos that they're going to enjoy the most. Because at the end of the day, I enjoy playing Monster Hunter, obviously. Otherwise I would not have made my YouTube channel at one time centered around Monster Hunter. It comes in cycles, as I said. It's sort of a... it's not that it's not a phase, Mum. It's not about that, but... I mean, we could always say that as a joke. But it does come in cycles. Sometimes I'll play a lot, sometimes I won't play a lot. But a minimum of 1 per week is the least I can do. So I will commit to doing that. And I hope you enjoyed this recording. I will see you next time. When you see me next, it will be in this game, however, it will not be in the same series. It will, if I can remember to do it, I should be able to. I will do Joke Weapon Roulette. And it's been long enough. I think it's been maybe 4 months, 3 months, I think 4 months, since I did Joke Weapon Roulette last. So that'll be good. Yeah, both of you should get a good sleep. But, again, hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.